tonight we are going to be picking up the story where we left off, where everyone is now level 9. Woo! We have some new interactive features, apparently, Ross.
I mean, there is a D&D Beyond tab on the left-hand side of the stream, and you can click into it.
But if it's my...
Maybe you might have done
my
that.
left or my right? I don't know.
No,
Your
it's
right.
your right.
Oh, it's stage left.
Yeah. You can click on it and see our character sheets, and if we update it, if we get hit with any damage, it should update and show you our health in real time, etc.
Yes.
Keep
Which
track
you'll
of
see for most of us, but not for Dom. Because
Let's do it now.
Dom's using his
Dom's
paper,
like an old
because
school.
that's fine.
Dom's old school.
It is equally valid. It's everyone's choice to play how they want to. They can choose to play with paper, they can choose to play with D&D Beyond. We're doing both.
If anyone wants...
Oh, you just had a long rest and ruined yourself?
No, I changed my HP and it crashed.
That's probably an issue with the Wi-Fi more than anything else.
Nope.
Couldn't have just gone with it.
Wi-Fi's disappeared again.
Yeah, that just happened to me too.
I'm not sure the Wi-Fi's...
Oh, I should also very quickly note about the item on the side is that there's so many of us that you do have to left and
Move
right
around.
the arrows at the bottom to see all players.
Yes.
That's all, and then I'm done.
So, oh, hello. Connor's leaving.
Be right back. I'll
Apologies.
do it really subtly.
Hold on, we're going to pause a second. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're back.
This is just streamlined.
The only reason we do that is because that garage door makes a hell of a lot of noise when we open things. So we just go for your safety and ears. It's just better. So we're gonna go over very quickly what we dealt with previously on Eat, Crit and Survive. As Connor comes back, so hang on a second. Connor is an arsehole. And
I'll have one.
has disadvantage on everything.
As per normal.
Yep. It's Friday the 13th. Your luck is not getting any better. So, where we last left off, the wandering stars have been wandering through the Shadowfell.
Just remembered that's her name.
The wandering stars have been wandering through the Shadowfell, conducting a couple of missions for the Raven Queen as part of a penance that Asher had to do for killing a prince.
Everyone's done it.
As part of the
Right.
penance, you had to go and kill someone in a tower and go and steal something from a temple. Having stolen the thing and killed the guy, you flew back to Unifella, the home of the followers of the Raven Queen. Or the Shadow Guy, sorry. Yes. And as you were flying back, noticed that there was a horde of undead chasing after you. Well, one of you did. And then as you landed, you didn't tell them.
Yeah, well, we kind of hurried down into the pit quite quickly. I didn't really think that they were...
They might have been interested.
No, more that they were going to gain on us so quickly. But,
Might as well not mention it.
They move at the speed of plot, Ross.
yeah, I mean, yes.
It's like if you turned around, they were there already. Also, those are the ones that were chasing you from a distance. There were more nearby.
It's almost like a wedding that's happening in a few days' time, depending on how long you take to get there.
So, having been surrounded in Unifella by this sea of undead and drakes and a vampire, you came up with a cunning plan to burrow your way out using a hasted badger.
Ingenious, really.
Solid.
Show me another party would have thought of the same idea.
I know, right? For the record, Ross did come up with that idea and had it in the background. I just sort of had to embellish it because he wasn't here.
Plagiarised my idea, obviously.
Steering.
Yeah, Lyra
Butt hugging.
did steer a badger. Having managed to burrow a good distance out of the forest, you did pop up, out of the city, into the forest. You managed to find the portal, taking all of the clerics and citizens of Unifella with you, making your way through the portal back into the Prime Material Plane, into Niflheim, which is somewhere else where you've been told never to go.
And left.
And
Promptly.
And where those twats turned into ravens and left us to die in the snow.
What can I say? Divine intervention. It helps.
But only helps them.
Yes. Because they're the clerics.
Yeah, I mean, the god is...
Mass polymorph has only got so many limitations, guys.
I mean, the only god that
Which
truly
doesn't.
exists in this world is controlling all the enemies, so who do you think that god's going to help?
Having taken a night's rest, you did then call upon your faithful servant, Gundamir, who offered to take you to his home where he had a series of baked treats. And
We're
I can't believe I had to turn it down as well.
I'm
Yeah,
That's
not
yeah.
such a good offer, but
We
I
are
had to
going
play.
at some point.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh my god, can you imagine if he has a family?
you don't know. I asked him.
You better.
Plus, the plane of air is
Whoa!
like
That got dark.
Of the elemental planes
it's
is
probably
the best.
one to go
Yeah.
to for mortals.
It's the least awful.
It's the one least likely to kill you
Yeah.
just straight away.
Yeah.
But having flown back to Helheim in Jorvik, you made your way down to the crypt where the Freya Kozen family resides, where you thought the prince might be, and found that a name had been taken off the wall and had been put on, and that the King Ivar Freya Kozen had died about 2 or 3 days after you had disappeared into the Shadowfell. Gerenalis, the prince who had been following along with you, fell to his knees, sobbing for the loss of his uncle, leaving him with Liralair, whilst everyone else made their way back up to the surface, to the temples, to find out what had happened to the prince. And that is where we left off. So, Wandering Stars, apart from Liralair, what are you guys doing?
You're just going to walk alongside Asher.
Mhm.
Tell me, Asher, what is it that you intend to speak with Dareth about?
Well, I just suppose he probably knows more about what's gone on here than what we do.
Because he has been dead? That is good for finding things out?
He's been alive and here longer than what we've been here.
I see. You want sort of the background, the history, yes?
I would just like to know what killed the king.
Well, I wish you luck with that. I'm not sure you'll have the answer.
We can only hope. Someone has to know what happened to her.
You make your way up, following one of the clerics. You make your way towards the surrounding temples. Now, there are 4 temples that lie on Helheim. It is the smallest of the islands, apart from the exposed section of Muspelheim. Not Muspelheim. I did that last week. Svartalfheim. No, Niflheim is fucking huge.
Something came.
Svartalfheim. It is the monks and the clerics that here that tend to the funeral rites for most of the other islands, and it is generally considered to be a neutral place. It's all things that you picked up from your learning in the handy pamphlet that you picked up before you came here.
Traveller's Guide to Jorvik.
There are 4 great temples that represent the major afterlives that are available to those of Jorvikian culture. There's a temple to Odin to represent the halls of Valhalla, one to Freya to represent the fields of Folkvanga, one to Ran, who representing the net of the depths, and one to Hela that represents hell. Just hell. Single hell, that's important. There's about 50 or so people that live on this island, and other people come here when they need to. They don't really want to anger the gods, who decide which afterlife they're going to. It's either going to be great, or it's going to suck. But, having been here, you are led up towards the Temple of Freya, which is... They're all about the same size, they're just decorated in different ways. So the Temple to Odin is a great big alabaster building, well encarved with people falling in battle and fighting against the world serpent, just a big snake wrapped around this planet-like shape. But the one that looking over towards Freya is... It feels warmer, sort of with a slight tint of green if you look at it in the right particular light. It looks like it's got light and flowers and nature wrapped around it. And you head in and you find that there are a few clerics sort of standing in there. The one that grabs your attention is quite a tall gentleman. Sort of bald head, greyish skin, quite a broad physicality. You recognise this as being Goliath. Turns around and looks. Afternoon. My name is Way Guide Scollin. What can I help you with?
I'm not there. I'm
You're
not
not
going to
there.
start
Our speaker's not there.
I'm gonna nudge Asher as like, he's take the lead.
Maybe someone with good charisma should try speaking for change.
No,
You actually got pretty decent charisma.
Yeah.
I mean, of the people that are there at the moment, all of them have got pretty good charisma. Apart from Cedric. That's the
What was
exception.
the name
Who
you said?
of these is the most likable?
Wayfinder Scolen. Scolen.
I will ask him. Probably best place to go is the palace, I suppose. Maybe.
You want to go to the palace? Which one? There's several.
Alfheim.
Right. So you want a boat?
A boat would be appreciated.
Try the dock.
He came to me.
Do you know anything about the whereabouts of Dareth?
Yeah? Who's asking?
I am George Master, one of the Wandering Stars. This is Asher. She was a champion of the Dala Athreth this year.
And?
We seek answers and to assist if we can.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm not going to just make a persuasion check. I'm going to panache him.
Okay. Which means what, exactly? To explain your new level 9 ability.
Just make him turn
As
into a
he is not hostile,
Certainly confused.
yeah, it is a persuasion check contested by their insight check. They must be able to hear me, and we must share a language.
Yeah, you've established that part.
Yeah. If I succeed, it is charmed by me for 1 minute.
Okay. Does he know that it's charmed when when it ends?
It doesn't say so.
I would assume not then.
It regards me as a friendly acquaintance, and the charmed effects thing ends if me or my companions do anything harmful to it.
Sure.
It's a bold statement.
I roll a natural one! Yes! Getting the most value out of my new ability.
It's like Diamond Soul all over again.
Why die?
I mean, still, so what? But winning the Dala Athreth doesn't mean anything to us. That's an Alfheim thing.
It gained us an audience with the king.
Good for you. He's dead.
How?
I don't know. No one told me.
Sorry, don't we need to go see the prince that just came back to life first? Isn't that, or were we
Yeah, we
waiting
just
for-
asked about that, and
Yeah.
he
Okay,
just
so,
says he doesn't care really.
so
Sucks not being there, doesn't it?
Maybe we should get Lyra there. We can't really go anywhere and just leave her here anyway. Do you think she's mourned long enough?
I mean, is she even the one mourning? I thought it was the fella she's into. as well.
Elves?
Hang on.
I don't know.
Maybe they're all
Yeah.
connected. I
Man, she really is the leader. We never know what to do when she's not. Yeah.
Would you perhaps be willing to take a message to him, asking if he is willing to see us?
Make a persuasion check. This is not using your panache, given that you failed it so poorly last time.
Yeah.
Oh, you can never use
Oh,
panache again?
I was just going to
Yeah, ever.
I was going to say, it doesn't have a cooldown, it just costs me an action. I can panache everything.
You're
No, you can't.
I chant a
Okay, that's
quick
still-
prayer
He's
and
already rolled,
guidance
unfortunately.
it. But I was saying it as I just don't want to interrupt him talking.
You are guided after this.
No, I'm debating whether to use my bonus D10 for that. No, I'll go with the 17. I've got
Just
expertise
overkill.
in persuasion.
No shit!
This one's just overkill. That's a bonus thing about level 9.
I was
Expert-
stuck. It
Get
really
so
caught me
better.
off guard. I was like, that's a 6, isn't it?
Plus 11.
Expertise gets nutty.
I mean, I can ask, but he's not the most receptive.
Whatever you can do, we would be most grateful for.
Let me just leave you with Sumi. She can probably deal with you better. Sumi! Turns around. There's this half-elf woman sort of dressed in sort of similar plain white robes that they all seem to wear. It's sort of a nice neutral colour for each of them. She wanders over. Yes, way guide. You keep an eye on them. I'll be back. Sort of wanders off. She sits there smiling. If you have any questions, then happy to answer if I can.
Yeah, we really want to know how the king died.
I don't know. We haven't been told.
See, we actually were only just with him not that long ago. What was it, like a week or two ago? And we just can't believe this turn of events. And, you know, we're just really concerned. Is there any information you could provide at all?
No, I just said I don't know
Do
anything.
you know who we can ask?
Probably someone at the palace. Palace of Alfheim. They might have a better idea.
Okay, thank you. Maybe we should go there.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm guessing we should
Rather
grab
than-
Lyra first.
Sure. I mean, it's probably a good idea.
We should wait for the other guy to get back first.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Because Tom looks like he's about to explode, let's turn to Lyra there for the moment.
I'm not sure that's going to help because
No.
I'm dealing with something completely different.
Yeah, stop laughing. God, his dad's just died.
Have you got a Christmas tree decoration?
It looks like
Easter.
I'm not sure that makes
An Easter tree
sense.
decoration.
Yeah, that's way more concerning.
I checked this. Use the
We're
Chocolate
actually
and sugar,
closer
mate.
to Christmas now than Easter.
Yeah, technically, Christmas
Yeah,
decoration.
you could assume it's an early Christmas buy, but at this point it's just an incredibly old Easter.
No, it's just a good bargain.
Anyway, Jonas is there sobbing. You're sort of comforting him
I'm
in the way that
sad.
Lyra feels appropriate.
Sat cross-legged next to him, one arm on his shoulder, being very quiet.
He sort of sits there, just shaking a little bit. Not quite sure whether it's with tears or just the shock of what has gone on. And then he eventually looks up and... Sorry,
You have nothing to apologise for. You came with me at no notice, so whatever I can do to help you now, I will.
we just need to find out what happened. Should go and see my cousin.
Yes, I think that's a good idea, but I can't say that I know how you feel right now, but I can say I do know what it's like to lose the people close to you unexpectedly, to lose parents. And if I can do anything to help you, I will.
Thank you. Let's go and decide who's going to be king, I guess. He sort of wipes his eyes and stands and rests his hand on the mausoleum before turning, walking out.
I'll follow him.
Yes. And as George takes 2d10 psychic damage for no apparent reason.
I could kill him.
Yeah.
I could see that coming.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's 12 points of psychic damage.
I'm pretty sure it's resistant to psychic.
Ultra on
Uh,
your app so the
nope.
viewers can see.
I'm waiting. 12 points of psychic damage.
I can't if I do it. My iPad will crash.
I'll do it.
I'm not joking.
The only reason I'm complying is because it puts me on 69.
And I knew that. So, make your way up with Duranalis, sort of appearing with the rest of the party about 5 minutes later. Just as George has a headache,
This pain in the temples. Why do all the gods hate me?
you and Duranalis walk up after about 5 minutes or so.
Have you seen the prince?
We have not. One of the clerics has gone to ask if he is willing to see us.
Did you mention Duranalis?
No, not at all. Didn't want to bother him.
We did not know how long you would be. We did not wish to have you disturbed.
Sure.
Could have been down there for days.
I mean, yeah, people get sidetracked all the time.
Always.
Eventually, the Goliath wanders back downstairs. Yeah, as I thought, he wasn't going to be. There's more of you.
I sort of wait for Drellis to speak.
Adrenalis says, yes, I am Adrenalis Moontouched. I am the nephew to the late king of Alfheim. I believe my cousin is here. Not where he should be, which is in the ground, apparently. Yes, right, yeah. Come with me. You might help. He takes Adrenalis and looks off. Adrenalis just looks over his shoulder and just sort of gestures for you to follow. All of you.
All of us.
Just Lyra.
Lyra
This is
follows, and then Lyra looks over her shoulder. And
to
just
Cedric.
Everyone gestures for just Cedric.
And Cedric just turns around and goes,
choice.
everyone follow.
Cedric thinks it's a game. It's like, right now, the next one.
Kalatar belly dances his way through.
It gets to George. George just that. Kafina. No.
But
Yeah,
then
because he
to
uses 2 fingers.
Oh.
Kafina, you take.
Oh, he's dishing it out. Blah.
We're going to TPK in a non-combat session.
Alright,
Won't be for the first time.
has happened. So you're led to the back of the temple where there's a sort of a vestibule room off the back where it looks like as you walk into it, one of the priests does their writing. It just looks to be some sort of study. In there is a elven gentleman wearing a fine purple leather vest and soft beige loose-fitting trousers, blonde hair that goes down to his waist, bright piercing gold eyes with slight flecks of purple in the irises. Quite a slender build, and you can see at the very centre of his chest, over his heart, there's a scar as if he's been run through with a sword at a sort of 45-degree angle.
Should be a massive scar, though, right? Because Asher basically only wields weapons bigger than her.
It was a long sword at the time that she used it.
Fair enough.
It's only just become a great sword.
It's back. That's just the tip pointing out through the front.
As you enter the room, he does not seem to react to the door opening at all, or any presence coming through. Geronis steps forward and drops down to his knees so that he's in his eye line. Dareth, it's good to see you. He leans up and pulls him into a hug. And as you watch, there's a sort of blink from Dareth, and his arms just come up and embrace his cousin. Had to kill him.
That could still happen, don't
He pulls. I don't know what happened. How did I end up here? Drella says, what do you remember? And Dareth is, I was standing over a child in Midgard. It's part of a training exercise or something. And then I woke up here. Apparently I was knocking on the thing that the mausoleum got the attention of the clerics. I don't know. Who are you?
We are the Wandering Stars. It is a long story, but suffice to say that we have been companions to journalists on a perilous adventure.
Then I'm pleased to meet you. Thanks, I guess. Can we? Do you mind if we go see my father?
Not at all.
And Drennis just takes a look. He's standing behind us, so he just sort of takes a look at you. sort of cautious, warning glance.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly walk up to this guy and go, oh, but, you know, I mean, you do realise you've just come back to life after being dead for, gosh, how long was it? Quite long. So, really, you really need to rest. You know, a long trip like that can't be good for a newly resurrected person.
Make a deception check.
I mean, am I lying at any point?
No,
Medically
but your,
sound.
no, but your intent isn't
I know.
pure.
I know. I'm always God on that, aren't I? In real life, that works.
You try to tell the actual truth sometimes.
I'm always
try-
caught on this lying.
I always try to lie with telling the truth. It should work quite well.
That's your mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
that's
go
kind of the key thing.
Just go for
I'm
it.
using deception now,
Correct. Which should make a difference to you. I think you're the
am I?
same.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not proficient in
Fee's not
deception.
meant to be a liar. She lies a lot, but she's not meant to be.
She's not good at it.
Jared lies. It's not supposed to.
Yeah, only a 15.
Should have had D10.
That's for the apparatus, so I don't blow over. No.
That would make a difference. Oh, actually, it might do. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there you go. But he
That's good.
he looks at you and, I mean, I guess, but probably best to rest at home. I've been here for a day or so.
Well, I mean, Drolos, you would understand best how to travel back to your home. What do you suggest?
Adrenaline says, well, boat, perhaps, might be sensible. He looks over at the Goliath and goes, right, yeah, we can arrange a boat for you,
Would
your
you like-
highnesses.
Would you like us to go and arrange passage while you speak further with your cousin?
Yes, might be sensible. We will be with you shortly. Nods to you.
Bow and withdraw.
Yes. Not proficient in anything with charisma except tact.
Make a tact check.
I can't believe they haven't told him.
Seemingly he was
that
non-responsive.
in
Do you say that in character?
No.
Oh, okay.
Where's all that? Can I see that? Sure, it's
Where was
over there. That's basically what I was like. If you want to see him, like he's in the ground over there. Like,
Yeah, like.
and then and you were like, maybe you should. I was like, oh, they haven't told him yet because that would be devastating to him. Okay, yeah, sure. Great. Yeah.
Dealing with one literally life-altering situation at the moment that he died.
Hit him with both.
It's like a
Stack
bad
them up,
day.
yeah.
Just rip all of them off.
You were dead, your dad's dead, your mum was dead, but that was a while ago.
I killed you.
Hey, we were dead. No one went easy on us. Means I suppose just put noise players after that.
No, to you. I mean, I'm not sure if I should be saying this in character or not, but it's just like, maybe make sure that immediately after, maybe preface the killing thing with the resurrection part, so that way it kind of cancels each other out.
So you're going to go get a boat.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long to provide. There is actually a series of barges that are owned and run by the monks and the clerics here.
Royal barges.
No, corpse barges
Oh.
that are used to transport the dead either from their place to their place of burial or to watch as they burn off. There's a few of them which have got very severe scorch marks. They look like they've been reinforced with metal. So they're wooden on the outside, but they've got metal planks on the inside. And as one of the other clerics, a dwarven gentleman who introduced himself as Knud. 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 Explains that some people prefer to be burned, particularly those of a Muspelheim persuasion. Some will have themselves quite happily thrown into the volcano, but some people just like to be burned and pushed out to sea. But they realised very quickly that they would run out of ships and trees if they kept doing that. So they basically made boats that wouldn't burn, so that they could burn the body, send them out, and then pull the boat back.
That's a good trick.
Seems like a real cheap way of
I
doing
want to
it.
quickly ask this guy. Sorry, so you know about death and the afterlife and all that, correct?
Hey, I'm a cleric of Hela.
So when anyone dies, say one of the, like that prince that just came back to life,
Aye.
he would have went to an afterlife, correct?
Aye.
Okay. That was all. Thank you.
I mean, presumably, I assume he went to an afterlife of some kind.
No, fair dues. Thank you. I want to try and like whisper to the group away from this guy now.
He's watching you very intently now, because you've just asked a really weird question and then wandered off with no follow-up.
Yeah.
So he's just staring at you as you sort of wander off to the rest of the party.
Oh, sorry. I was just curious. It's fine. Back to what it was that you were doing.
Make a persuasion check.
Crit success. If it wasn't, I'd be re-rolling.
Right.
Does anyone else find it weird that Prince
Speak up for the mic.
Yeah. Does anyone else find it weird that Prince just said he goes from being dead to being alive? Shouldn't he experienced his afterlife, or do you think he's just lost his memory of it?
I don't remember what happened to me when I was dead.
We don't
Yeah.
know how the Raven Queen did whatever she did.
That's okay. That's a good point, because I was about to say, does this just prove that all the afterlife stuff is like lies? But I guess we don't know.
Having met a god, I'm inclined to think not.
I mean, sure. I've kind of interacted. Oh well, we've met a god, and I've kind of interacted with one, but I don't know. I mean, anyway. I just found it weird the second he said that. They keep going on about afterlives here, and then he's like, yeah, I was dead and now I'm alive again. It's like, what about the middle bit?
Durellan has told us that people here, sometimes some of them come back from the dead for special reasons. So they know, they talk about the afterlife that they're sort of in, but having a break from, or something. It's a slightly... I'm not quite sure how it all works.
I think it is safe to assume that having someone brought back by the Raven Queen is not a normal method of them coming back here.
I think.
I guess so.
Anyway, I'll go back up to Knud and say, sorry about that. We're trying to arrange passage for
I gathered.
back to Alfheim. Are any of these barges large enough for that many people?
Aye, we often carry the things that some people want to be buried with, or some of the mourning party if they hold the funeral rites somewhere else and they want to ship them here to bury them. We sometimes let them ride along. Hey, this barge is big enough for all of you.
Right, and we can obviously pay for passage.
Oh no, you're right. We'll invoice the palace when we get there. Not often that you ship royalty. Not both ways, generally. Sometimes they only come one way.
That especially elves, I think,
Aye,
tend to be quite a long time between voyages.
aye, there is that.
Unless you go through assassinations. Anyway, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Starts stroking his beard and just sort of like thinking deeply about it.
It's a thinker. So yes, we'll be ready in, I think, probably an hour or two.
Sorry, sorry, I was just pondering that.
As well you might. I think we'll be ready to go in sort of an hour or two. Will we be ready to go?
Oh, yeah, it's ready to go now.
Alright, and how long a journey is it from here to Alfheim?
Yeah, to Alfheim, it's probably about 3-4 hours.
Alright.
Which part of Alfheim are you going to?
We want to go to the palace.
Because to Arnland...
Viblane. There is not a port at Viblane, is there? Is there just?
Well, no, there's a little smaller port. The main port is over at Van Thalda. That's where you get all the merchants coming in. But you still got to get like little barges that go around the sides, the things that are too big for the road.
Probably we want to go straight to Viblane if we can. It will probably be best not to have
You can
the
get to
princes travel across the length of Alfheim if we can avoid it.
You can get to Viblane, that's no problem. That'll take us a little bit longer, maybe 6 hours.
So sometime this evening, tonight.
I mean, it's
What time of day is it?
It's
I can't
about-
remember.
it's about 11.
Yeah.
So you've got about 5 o'clock-ish.
That-
Depending on
that's
if you left
very
now.
reasonable. We'll go and see
Yeah,
how
screw
the,
those two princes. We're just going there.
We'll go and see how the princes are doing. Thank
Really?
you very much, sir.
As you turn around, they are actually walking towards you
Oh, right.
at this point.
Well, that worked out very well.
Jirella says, So the situation has been explained.
Sorry for your loss, Your Highness. Say to both of them.
Yeah, 'cause you're not sure which one is Your Majesty. That's a bit of a sticky problem at the moment.
Yeah.
Your Majesties.
There should
Your
be
Highness.
Majesties.
Your Highness.
Your Majesty.
Majesty.
Steezers.
They nod and acknowledge the
Your elf.
condolence. Sorry, just every so often your shirt folds in such a way it just looks like it says "Mother Life is epic." So something you're not telling us, Tom. Is this a pregnancy reveal?
Ta-da.
Jared, block me when we get up.
Just lift up a towel.
No, that was a quick roll thing. Sam kept blocking Laura when she was pregnant. Anyway, the dwarf sort of says, "Alright, is everyone ready to go then?"
Yes. I am.
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Alright, let's just mount up and set sail on the old death barge. Sorry, we really shouldn't name it Death Barge. It's really not an appropriate name, but
Well, it is an appropriate name.
It is
Sort
what
of
it is.
It is.
I suppose. Right to the
Is he back?
TBD barge.
If you'd like a new name, maybe the
The
Ferry of
Barge
Parsons.
of Death. Sorry, TBD.
Maybe
I like it.
the Ferry of Passings.
The Last Journey.
Ooh, I like that one.
But this isn't the last one.
But it would be for most
Maybe
of the
this
best
Most
ones.
people.
Maybe this is not the time to discuss rebranding.
Maybe once we're on the ferry.
We've
we
got
can
6
talk about
hours to
All rebranding discussion.
you thought it was going to be an intense RP session. Nope, we're going to brand a boat. This is how long it takes.
That is quality RP, right?
Yeah.
You go to invest.
Just turns into The Apprentice, and you're all having to explain. You wrote your pitch, your ideas.
Asher whips out like those little end of the nose reading glass.
So you all get on the boat, and you set sail towards Alfheim. The air is cold. There is a slight chill coming in from the north, through the Bay of Yggdrasil. And you can sort of see the regular traffic sort of floating in and out, breaking through the bits of ice that's forming this far north. Is there anything that you wish to do whilst you're on the boat?
Have a short vest.
No, you can't. That's a throbbing headache that doesn't affect you. No, you can have a short rest.
His favourite kind of headache.
Status effect, migraine.
I'm going to speak quietly to Drellinus if I can.
You may.
Away from Dara.
Okay.
Is that possible?
Yes.
And I would like to say to him quietly. I know you said the situation was explained. Did you say anything about Asher to Dara?
No, I didn't. I thought probably not a good idea to point out to someone who didn't know who killed him.
That's probably for the best. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes. I would perhaps suggest that she not mention it either.
I'll try and suggest that.
I'm currently
Subtle.
1,000 yards staring at him like a ghost.
What, Dareth?
I was unfortunately not trying to be the captain.
Not now.
Not right now.
Mm-mm.
Alright.
So I'll nod to Drellinus, then come up by Asher, put a hand on her shoulder. I know this is hard, but now is not a good time.
Is
to
there
reveal.
ever?
This is a worse time than most. He is reeling. He's lost however many years and his father. He doesn't need another. I want to say bombshell, but that's another thing.
Catastrophe.
He doesn't need another life-altering revelation at a time when his life is already 1,000,000 miles from what he knew. Yes, by all means, we should tell him at some point, or you should tell him at some point, but not now.
I'll wait.
And pat her shoulder and back off a bit.
At some point, I'd like to get Lyra aside and just mention to her, "Hey, so all that working out, I mean, all the stress we went through in the Shadowfell, I'm actually able to cast Teleportation Circle and teleport us, I believe, back to Sol Risa and Pariah Deep. I don't know if that information's useful. I have no idea when we might want to use this, but I thought at least letting you know so you know that options on the table."
It's very useful to know. Out of character, you can't cast it right now this moment.
Yeah, I can, why not?
Because
You
you
don't
don't
have
have
the
the
materials.
I have a components pouch.
They are very specific gold components.
It's
Right.
powdered gems.
Yeah, well, no, I mean gold
No.
worth
And
components.
it consumes.
They're consumable, so you actually have to go and buy them.
Right.
Hey Jared, remember what we keep saying to you about reading spells?
I read the spells, I ignore the part that says
Reading
components.
the card explains.
I'm a skimmer.
You read the middle bit, the important bit. You don't read anything else to do with it.
I mean, do we really need to?
In this
Well,
case,
Not
yes.
when people are correcting and helping you out.
That could well be very useful. We probably will be needing to go back to Viaras at some point. So that's useful to know. Well done.
Thank you. Wait, what was the component again?
It is powdered gems and wax.
let
What?
me
No,
just-
it's chalk infused with powdered
See, I
gems.
have it here because it's one of the ones I can
I'll let you
cast.
guys
And do you know what you can also do, Jared?
Yeah.
If it's on your spell list, find it on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, I was.
Waka doesn't like so.
Yeah, it doesn't even say on there.
It's material, rare
It's possibly-
chalks and inks infused with precious gems worth 50 GP
Just
per
okay.
consumed.
Two
It's
Alright.
another spelling
Sure,
mistake on these official D&D cards.
Which word?
It says precious gems with 50 gold pieces, when it should be worth 50 gold pieces.
Yes. It's in
Or-
to be fair, it's in the
It's in player's hand.
yeah.
It's the first two lines of the card.
Anyway,
Just gloss over that.
So yes. So, anyone else wishing to discuss anything on the boat? Or you good?
This seems to have helped my headache. I feel a little better. Or maybe I'm just away from the gods here.
Oh no, you're never too far away from the gods.
Wow!
Take.
I don't seem to get on with them for some reason.
I can't imagine why.
Well, how many have you met, George?
Well, I suppose just the one, but I have rather got the impression your goddess is not a fan.
It's not that she dislikes you, just a lot of the things you do.
To do is to be.
No, that's a terrible philosophy. I was going to say we are human beings, not human doings, but I'm not human.
we are beings, no.
We are beings, not doings.
Alright, so you set up, you continue on your sail, thinking about the information that you have been given. And eventually the lighthouses of Alfheim come into view with the sort of perma glow that covers the entirety of the island. As you sort of approach it, the clerics sort of wander up to Dareth and just cover his head with a robe. And Knud says, we weren't too sure about what was going to happen, to be honest, because we didn't tell anyone that he was alive again. Because we know how superstitious some people are, and to see him wandering around, it's probably not going to be good. So you might have to be careful about it.
I have the hat of disguise still with me. If that could.
I mean, if you want to disguise him, that might be useful.
I mean, offer it to him.
Mm-hmm.
So you just jam it on his head.
I'm not going to slap him on his head. I'm someone else.
My God, what's Dominic doing sitting next to me?
Oui, moist toilette.
It looks like Robin.
Oh god.
I look like what?
Don't say that about
Robin Thicke. I don't even know what a
Dare
Robin
you.
Thicke is.
You don't want to know.
Blurred
Anyway,
Like a Robin Thin, but with bigger thighs.
there you go.
They save lives.
He takes the hat from you, puts it on, and attunes to it, and then alters his form to look like a dark-skinned elf, sort of a lot darker skin, sort of looking closer towards someone who has been out. It's not like he just turned himself to be black. He's just made himself look a deeper tan, like he's been working on a ship for a long time. Yeah, withered, some withered.
Weathered. Not
Oh, withered.
No,
No, he's
it's
also,
all
also a
wrinkly.
little withered.
and withered.
Looks like he's been in the bar for too long.
Yeah, he has got that. He has got a little bit
got
of
the
wrinkle on his
prune look.
fingers. He's got a little bit of chaps on his lips.
Like he's been dead.
100% a giant raisin.
Yeah, that's it. He just sent him a giant brazen costume.
Big wrinkly raisin.
But does change his
Testicle
facial
teeth.
features significantly.
Sorry, out of character. Do we understand that the king's body had already been taken to Alfheim?
The
Or was
king's
it
body had never
expected?
The king's body had never left Alfheim.
Sorry, it had already arrived at Helheim. You've answered the question. No, it hadn't arrived yet.
No, it has not been moved
Right.
because for various political reasons.
So
Let's
lying in state.
Yes.
Right.
Let's hope they've got the crime tape still up around it, so no one's...
I'm not sure I can walk through it energetically.
We didn't really meet anyone else at the palace, did we?
Not from various
There was a
servants.
guy, but he was from the magical college, which I've forgotten the name of.
And the queen.
Alceda? Or Seda Alfar.
Yeah,
Magical
Say that
College.
Alpha, that's
Yeah,
the
that
one.
one.
Yeah, the arc.
But you arrive at the docks,
campaign.
and as you notice that as you're sort of being pulled into port by some of the hands there, there are there are a number of guards who are standing there. Essentially the same as when you came in on the other side, where there's basically passport control, so you get into this particular city. Had you forgotten that, Connor? They are wearing black bands around their armour as a sort of sign of respect. And you actually notice that for the first time it is dimmer here than it was before. It's like they've literally gone and turned the lights down slightly to show as a sign of respect that some of the light has disappeared. The guards start walking down towards you as you disembark on Geronalis, leading the way off there. They sort of stop and bow hurriedly and say, we will insist on escorting you to wherever you need to go, my prince. So they sort of surround you, make their way up towards their break room over the docks, get a few more guards out, and they just sort of form a loose circle around the lot of you. Not really paying that much attention to the rest of you, but sort of going, that's the fucking prince, probably the king, we're going to take him back to the castle. That sort of very rigid mentality of, we're just going to make sure he doesn't fucking die to get there.
Lyra would do the same thing.
Oh yeah, Lyra is doing exactly, if anything, she would fall in step with them.
Pretty much, yeah. She's a grunt.
Yeah. But as you walk through the city, you can see that there seems to be some level of
It's always you, man.
communal mourning
Maybe
going
we
on.
should change the seating arrangement so that these two aren't opposite each other.
Well,
No,
no, the problem is Ross has to sit there, and Connor will always insist on being there because he's here first.
I live here.
It's so they can make doe eyes at each other. I mean, they got
It's
married
just
last
everywhere.
campaign.
Lyra is a grunt, and he just goes, looks dead at me. I'm like, you know what you're doing. You know I
Yeah.
can't control
I mean,
myself.
no matter where you sit him, any word that could even be slightly
Twisted.
All DMs up. You know me.
And all of you have a Ross.
Yeah. Maybe, and if you don't know who the Ross is, you are the Ross. Oh dear. Anyway, there is communal mourning going on in Alfheim. There is a lot of people wandering around with black clothes, which is completely in contrast to what you've seen before, where they wear sort of bright colours, quite fanciful. Similar to how Georges usually dresses, actually. A lot of colour, a lot of finery. They seem to be wearing everything.
Aren't we all
muted.
wearing our fine clothing? It's
That
just
are torn to shit.
yeah.
we've changed into our winter clothing.
You are wearing your winter clothes over your torn to shit.
I was going to say we paid a lot of money for these.
Mending.
I mean, you can
No, I'm
mend
taking
it.
them
You
back
can
for a
mend the wounds, the bits that are there. Quite a lot of it's just been torn off at various
I
points.
mean,
in
yeah,
the
I
lost.
can't make shit that isn't there appear, but I can at least patch up the.
You patch up a little bit.
Yeah.
Do we still have the
There's
receipt?
not a lot. No,
Could have returned it.
definitely couldn't have.
Here is my dress.
Put it on like the eBay.
Oh, and the
bit,
rest
but just
of
be
this-
like well worn.
Name it.
But you make your way through the city, getting towards the white walls that are interwoven with the trees in this unique fashion that they have here in Alfheim. And eventually you come to the gates, and a few of the royal guards look to stop the approach, and then realise who it is that's being led, and one of them sort of quickly turns around and rushes back to their behind the wall, and someone else marches out wearing what looks to be the sort of the leadership epaulets. You know, he's got the sort of the half cloak on one side, and he sort of marches out, leading his soldiers, and himself bows. Says Prince Duranalis, King Duranalis. We were not expecting you. I am Captain Nastralian. I shall be escorting you to the Lord Regent's chamber.
When you said King Drellis,
Yes.
I'd like to look at Daereth and see if there's a reaction to that.
Make an insight check. Make a better
12?
insight check.
12's not terrible.
It's hard to tell. You don't know whether that's because of the nature of the illusion that's holding his face that hasn't changed his facial expression, or whether that's just he has had no reaction whatsoever.
I also want an insight check, but I want to insight the guy that had to catch himself and see whether or not there was any perturbation, basically, at having to call the other guy king.
Sure, make an insight check.
Resentment.
I'm curious if this is the dick going to take the throne. Crit!
It is.
This guy does not seem to have any. It seems to have been a genuine mistake.
He's just
Because-
like the captain of the guard.
He's a
Okay.
captain of the guard. He wasn't expect this guy who is called the Prince. His entire life and his entire career here
Yeah.
has suddenly turned up, and then he's gone. Oh shit! He's the king now
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the king is dead.
Also,
Fair
they
enough,
thought
but
this
then
guy
again,
was dead.
King's dead.
Yeah, pretty much. Presumably.
Yeah,
thought-
they all thought he was dead.
I mean, at least now I can at least, in my head, scratch him out from being some guy part of a coup.
Off the kill list.
Yeah. yeah.
That one guy.
I know, I was
He's
actually...
fine.
I'm gonna write in my
It's
notes.
like the first
not
cap-
a dick.
Yeah.
No. That wasn't the insight check. The insight check was to see whether or not he had any
Yeah.
resentment.
Yeah.
He could still be a dick.
Not resentful, might be a dick.
There
I
you
was
go.
actually going to write down his
50%
name
dick.
purely for the purpose to make sure that if I want to, I can kill him later.
You could still write. You can still do that.
No, I feel good about it.
I've got his name.
I felt good at the time about
So
what
you
I
can
did.
kill him, mate.
Because that's so like me.
I know, right? That's Tom, though. That's not.
Yeah.
Oh
It
yeah.
could be just
I
like
have an
you. We don't know
extensive
now.
list.
We're all on it, aren't
It's
we?
always the quiet ones, isn't it?
You never
Because
want
I'm
to.
so quiet.
Is
Neither
the
am I
extensive
murderous.
list though? Does that include their mothers and their parents' names and what they do?
I'm
And
not going to tell you that.
what if I really want to know? Because it's pertinent to the story.
Roll for insight.
We'll tell that story one day.
You can't just shout insight at the table, Jared. Luke gets triggered.
He does. But you are led through into the castle and towards the Lord, or to the throne room. Sort of led past the ornate portraits to the left-hand side, past the grand magisterial staircase that leads to the higher floors. And you are led into the room where there appears to be a meeting going on of some sorts. The captain sort of stands and sort of leans to this half-elf gentleman. It's unusual to see a half-elf in this scenario, but it very quickly becomes apparent that he is the butler. He is just the servant, because he's a shaved head with a black pencil moustache and green eyes, wearing a black suit, and he's just sort of standing there in sort of traditional butler fashion, just hands clasped behind his back, not doing anything. George, you are very familiar with this sort of
Yeah.
banditry, and he sort of turns and There's King Duranalis and his entourage of assorted allies. So they start marching in, and that immediately silences the meeting that's going on. And you can see sat on the throne, there is a... Well, sat by the throne, there are 6 people up there. One sat on the throne... Sorry, 7 people, miscounted. One sat on the throne, 6 standing around him. The one who sat on the throne is a goateed man wearing a golden mantle over a fine set of clothes, with gold buckles on the belt and his boots. His hair is sort of slicked back in sort of a darkened fashion. It looks like it's been artificially dyed to a certain degree. Just sort of looking at it.
This guy is screaming bad guy.
Can you smell it too? I smell it.
It's like, he's
Covered in gold,
covered in
greasy
gold.
hair.
He's
already sat.
He hasn't even
you're right.
spoken.
He's even sat in the throne.
I already want to kill him.
Slick, your dyed black hair.
The
and
king's
all
just
he needs
arrived and
is
he's sat in his chair.
glasses.
He does not have glasses.
talk like this.
He's
Next
also
to him,
sat in the king's chair.
Yeah,
next to
which is
him, on the left-hand side of the throne, is a burly male elf with quite a thick beard, which is unusual for an elf, dressed in full ceremonial armour and wearing a belt that you recognise from the shop that you went to previously, the Belt of Dwarven Kind.
I got a
Well,
belt.
that explains the beard, yeah.
Yeah. There's a woman standing there with deep purple robes with a sun embroidered on the back into golden threads. Her hair is hidden by the robes, but her black eyes stare out below dark and long eyelashes, just glaring out at you. There are also 3 men who look identical, each with black hair streaked with flecks of gold at various points, but all of them somewhat different. Just weird.
So much gold.
They're high elves, man. They're
It's
all.
a king's court. There's going to be a lot of gold.
So much gold.
They're each wearing a dark green suit, and they just look identical,
Except
like a
for
business
where
suit.
the
except for
exact
some of the
place.
exact placement.
Sorry, like
of
a
the-
business suit.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's like mums that have had triplets and just adore dressing them the same way.
basically.
Yeah.
Except they're clearly adult elves, so they made the choice to do this to be
Means they're
confusing.
A couple of 100 years old.
God.
And the
I'll
last
grow
one,
out of it.
the last one is a sort of an elderly-looking elf, sort of white robes, shoulder length, dirty blonde hair, and sort of silver eyes. That looks out to you, who looks like he is a priest of some description. He's holding a staff that he's sort of leaning on to support himself. And the man who's sitting in the advisors around him all look confused. They sort of look at the throne and look at Duranalis, who's just striding forward. You can see his posture has changed completely, from being, quite relaxed around you guys, like when you first met him, quite energetic, to just upright. I am in charge here. Screw you guys,
The man's a king now.
kind of thing. And he sort of steps forward. Yeah, it's as if he knows he's the king now. And he steps up at the foot of the dais where the throne sits. My lords, my lady, I believe you weren't expecting me. And they just sort of look, and the guy sitting in the throne stands, and they all bow towards him as he sort of stands up and walks up the stairs. Lord Aloro Slovelis.
Oh my god, this guy.
Did you say Slovelis?
Yes.
Slovelis.
Yes.
Sovelis.
Do you ever want to pick a name that we can spell?
I'm in D&D Beyond. I've gone to notes. I've gone to enemies, and I'm writing this guy's name. Or is it Lord Sloverinus?
Aloro
Aloro
Oh,
Slovelis.
Aloro.
Slytherin.
Aloro Sovelis.
Oh,
Thank-
Sovelis. Sorry, I thought you said Slovelis.
I did say Slovelis, but that's a mispronunciation.
Oh, right. So,
Wow. Fucking asshole this
Sovelis.
guy is.
So-
It's because I've got it in Word, and it's got the little red squiggle underneath it, so it throws off my spelling, because I keep forgetting to spell check it.
I'm sorry, I wanted to cut you off. This guy I want to inside check for
he
anger
hasn't
and
done
annoying.
anything.
Right,
He's
but he had to get
Lord
out of the chair.
All he's
Did he
done is
angrily
stand up
get out
and
of
bow.
Was it angrily?
Make an insight check.
Did it look like
I'm using the last
Might
dice
be
that gave me a
brilliant.
crit.
Sure.
On... Yeah, still decent.
Lord Sloverus? ... Definitely killed the king.
21.
21. He has stood up and bowed deeply. You have not seen any reaction other than that sort of mechanical. If anything, the bow is too low. It's that sort of
He's a
really.
brown noser.
The worst kind of enemy.
I bowed lower than everyone else. Snaps
Back to the
himself in
sentence.
half.
I thank you for keeping the country running in my absence. Not at all, Your Majesty. He says, and he bows.
Can we just kill this guy now?
Yeah, I'm sorry, we're going to have to kill all of them.
No.
This is the thing.
He's definitely not a bad guy. There's no way.
What?
Like
Because
it's
there's
too
too many red flags.
I mean, if
Looks
he
over here with
was-
all the whole
If he
little.
was, given our reaction so far, he's not now. It's something I've learned from DMing. If you guess this much, you just change your mind.
Yeah, he's not M. Night Shyamalan.
He's actually going to join the party.
Anyway, he bows again, much lower now that he's sitting. He sort of takes a step down so he can get the right angle at it. Cedric, you can sort of read with your passive insight. This guy's pissed. Just somewhat irritated. Yeah, his passive insight just beats your
Yeah,
natural.
okay,
I'm
fine.
going to. Is
Have
this
you
the
seen
room
Deceptive.
where we were
That's insane.
when we were sent?
Yes.
To, right. I'm going to cross to the room. Cross to the wall
Mhm.
and put
She
the
just.
scimitar back on the wall.
Fair.
Still, it's probably got some nicks in it,
It's got a few.
and maybe a little bit stained.
Yeah, a little bit. Just shunk. They sort of look as you do this.
I'm just going to nod and walk back.
Joranus looks, sort of nods as you do this and sort of understands the symbology behind it. Has the course of death for my uncle been determined, High Priest? The man in white steps forward and says, yes, sire. Yes, I was just... and he pulls a scroll out from his sleeve. Joranus raises his hand. Says, remain, Yevendril. I will take your report. The rest of you, save for my attendant, and he looks at Dareth, may depart. My lords, my lady, I shall call for you when I am ready. I am quite tired, and once I have taken on the report from the High Priest, I shall be taken to my bed so that I can recover and take care of the matters. Nuarte, I shall ask you to take my travelling companions to their guest quarters.
Is this addressed to the butler?
It is to the butler.
The
Nuarte.
High Butler. His name.
It's
He's got.
Hold on, it's
Hang on.
always the
The
butler. The butler
Okay, I'll
always
put him at the
is
top
the
of the
killer.
The top of the shit list.
Put him above Lord Slytherin.
I just have, literally.
Um,
Nuarte.
Nuarte, N-U-T-A-E. Allow them to bath, recover, let them come and go as they please throughout the castle, make it known to the guards that they are under my protection and my hospitality. They have saved me more times than I can count, and I owe them that much. He looks warmly at the rest of you. When you leave, please make sure you take one of my guards with you, just so that I can get in touch with you if I need to. But do as you will for as long as is needed. But be ready for when I call you.
We shall attend whenever it is required.
Thank you. You may go.
Wow.
You can just see the other elves who are following you out. Cedric, you just sort of every so often just sort of catch a glimpse out of the corner of your eye and just sort of see the rather smarmy.
Sorry, what did you just do with your hands?
I just rubbed them slightly. I had an itch. That wasn't anything.
I thought 100%.
I will scheme again. I will sit on that throne once more.
But you are led.
What do you do every night, Pink?
He enjoyed his 3 days of being king.
It's been there for a week. But you are led to guest
Like
quarters.
Boris.
Each of you have a room with an ensuite with a bath chamber, where they show you how you can. It is fully plumbed, which is unusual.
Rude.
Yes, it is full of plums. You are in the plummiest room that there is.
I'm going
Delicious.
to make a request
Yes.
of whatever person is attending me.
Nuarte?
It is Nuarte.
For now. He will obviously there will be other servants that are available.
I wonder if we might ask a favour. We did when we left so precipitously. Leave some of our belongings at the Sylvan Chateau in the city. Some of our
And we
personal
left some
effects.
items here at the palace as well.
Indeed, yes, we left some effects at the gates when we were first invited in. I wonder if we might be permitted, or they could be brought here possibly.
Of course, my lady. I shall see to the comfort of you and the rest of your allies first, and then I shall have them sent for post haste.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And he starts going into showing you the various bits that are available here, the baths and how they are operated, so that you can each spend your time doing what you will. And then we enter a week of downtime.
Ooh, I wasn't ready.
That's unusually fast because I expected shit to kick off real quick.
He's got to catch up with what's happened in the kingdom.
No, fair enough. I was also gonna lay a trap and have we have the hat of disguise. We put it on Asher, and Asher disguises as Jorellis.
We've got a
Right.
week.
Why
You've
would
got a
I
week.
do that?
You've got a week. You can do that if you want to.
But
Yeah.
why?
Why would
Anyway,
I
we
be
haven't got the
Jorellis?
hat of disguise.
So
It's
that
still
when
on
the
dinner.
assassination attempt on him inevitably happens, it's
Oh.
you that see it.
Fair enough.
I'll
be up for it.
Yeah.
But we haven't got the hat of disguise. It's on Dareth at the minute.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. That's something we have to work around.
Yeah, and if
but-
Adrenaline starts, doesn't
Not
it?
having that. I mean, the whole plan.
Let's-
didn't
I mean,
stop it,
Let's
but-
use this really key item that we don't have. So,
Disguise kit.
week of
I'll have
downtime.
one of them.
What do you guys want to do? If anything. Who wants to go first? I did warn you about this in chat.
I have many things that I will.
Let me scroll down to my notes section to where I put what I
For the sake of brevity on this, because I know some of the things may involve speaking to Journalist directly, he is not available for this week.
Okay,
Because he is busy running a country.
that is fair. Although apparently those guys were running it for him while he was gone, so surely it should be up to snuff.
You would think. But there's sort of the what you deal with the country in the intimate moment of the king dying, and
Business as usual.
then the rest of the business as usual. So there's a lot of things going on at the same time. So, who wants to kick us off with what they do in their downtime? Cedric got nothing that he wants to do.
Not massively.
Go and find your sister in a week.
Could I do that in a week?
I mean, that's
Could
not a
do.
downtime event, but I guess.
You could do if you wanted to.
You might need to ask permission to leave Alfheim.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably too much of
Split the
a.
party, be alright.
Yeah, I'll just go on home.
Yeah, just
No
on your
worries.
We
Solo
never saw
quest.
Cedric again.
It's not like
Cedric doesn't come back 2 weeks later.
oh,
Um,
shit.
come back to me because I think I have an idea, but I want to formulate
Jared.
it a bit better.
Kafina.
So yeah, want to get in contact? Please remind me the name of my assistant again, because it's either Caradon or hang on,
Caradan's the continent.
right?
My assistant, Continent.
Tolan.
It's like a giant earth element.
Tolan. That's it. He has that insanely similar name to Thomas. So right. I want to contact Tolan and find out how the giant diamond.
How are
and
you
all that-
contacting him?
through the bag that we can send messages.
Okay, as you open the bag, first of all, it's full of coin
Oh shit! Nice.
because they've been putting stuff into it. There's also about 6 pieces of paper in there
Oh.
with different notes as you're reading through it, just saying, "Are you not collecting this anymore? Is everything okay?"
Who had the bag?
You.
Kalatar.
Oh,
No, yeah, I was gonna say I never had the bag. Someone else did. So
new
Kalatar,
phone, who it
alright.
is.
Yeah, but Kalatar says, "Well, I didn't know. It
Yeah.
didn't work in it.
Do you mind if I keep it? No, maybe.
I mean, it's quite useful when there's diamonds. Actually, if you're going to go and write to them, I could do with some bigger diamonds."
Okay. How big? Say about 50 gold size.
No.
No, about 10 times that.
Oh,
100 golds.
Gosh, okay.
They've got plans.
Well, I've got some things to ask.
And
you
a different
about.
accent.
You all
Anyway,
die a lot.
I
sure,
don't know
I'll
if
go
they have
ahead.
ones that's expensive here.
Tell you what, I'll read through the notes. We'll split up this cash, and then we'll see how much we can buy of what you need and what we all need and whatnot.
No, I literally just need diamonds.
Okay, well, good.
Like big diamonds.
Yeah, good to know. I'll make sure that happens.
But also, we'll deal with the whores later.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot about that.
We didn't.
Yeah, I can understand.
He's got that smile on his face.
Anyway, what do the notes say? Other than, are you picking up this stuff? Is there anything else actually?
No, there's nothing pertinent. It's just sort of saying, bag's kind of full.
Yeah.
Are you going to take this out? It's that kind of
Yeah.
just making sure you're okay.
Okay, first note back is sorry to keep you waiting. Thank you for doing all this work. I have a request of you. I need you to get as many sigil sequences of teleportation circles from everywhere. I need to find out if I can get the one that the contrivance has, because they probably won't just give that information out easily. I need really big 500 gold sized diamonds. Or at least for you to price those for me.
500 gold.
Why is my brain not working? Anyway, yeah,
It's Friday.
Good thing. I mean, we might even be able to buy that
Stop
shit
now.
here.
I
I'll just ask how many he can get his hands on at short notice.
What, out of the big slab of diamond that you have lying around?
Oh, do we still? Okay.
Yes, we still have that!
No, it's been getting sold off.
Over the course of a week, they're not going to sell
It's only been a
300.
week. I thought it's been
It's been,
2
well,
weeks.
you were getting some coin out of it whilst you were travelling to Jorvik.
Right. Anyway.
You've been gone for about 2 weeks.
It's like
You've
a
probably
million
emptied it.
gold.
Tell him I want him to put it. Oh, wait. Kalatar, how many diamonds would you like?
I mean, to be honest, how often are you going to die?
I mean, I'm not planning to do it anymore. I have gotten better at not dying.
Right, so I'm not going to bother with you then. The rest of you, how much do you think you're going to die?
At least twice.
2?
I will aim not to die, but having a little insurance seems like a good idea. 2 should be adequate for now.
I'll get 2. That'll be fine.
The way things go.
8.
Yeah.
I've died at least 4 times so far.
That is
so
problematic.
as many as you can get.
I'll get a few. I'll get a few, and I'll get them as stockpile.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Just tell him. I'll tell him to start stockpiling diamonds of roughly that size. Okay. I think that is it. Does anyone else have anything else they want to ask Talan for?
Just general news of Fieros. What's going on? Any upheaval?
News of Fieros. Yeah. Okay.
Reliable host.
I think that'll be everything. Yeah. We all good? Cool. All right. Shove the note back in and get the coins out.
Okay, there is about 2,000 gold in there.
Okay, that's all right.
Over time, it looks like that what's happened is that they've put amounts in with the notes, and then it's been taken out and converted into platinum pieces.
Oh, nice.
Because it just got to a point where there was too much going into the bag for its
Makes
size.
sense.
Because as we've discussed previously, it's only about yay big.
Yeah, I know.
Not yay big.
Punch someone
You
for it,
try to
sorry.
put the spear through.
I mean, you know, all this magic and dimension stuff. You know, how's
I
it
didn't.
work?
I didn't understand how you got. I had to explain that 5 times. It was. Anyway, okay.
Anyway,
So over the course of that, you do eventually get notes back in. You do get the 2 diamonds. They're given to Kalatar.
Cool.
Basically, there's a note, and then what looks to be about 3 sheets of paper underneath it. The note just sort of says, "Good to hear that you're still alive. We were worried. You've been carrying on with your research. Seems to be going king. Seems to be a couple of developments.
Oh,
It's
nice.
interesting.
Does he say what, or does he just leave it at that?
Leaves it at that for the moment. It's a small letter, but
Yeah,
sort
fair
of,
enough.
if you ask questions, you can get more. Not much going on in Fieros. Nothing really developing. No major news sort of happening. Not since you've been gone, anyway. And that if you wanted to get the teleportation sigil, you have to do a written request to the Scorchright,
Yeah.
which is what the form is.
Yeah, awesome. I was like, that's either going to be sigil sequences or the form. Yeah,
It's the form,
It's
which you fill out and to the best of your
And that
ability.
takes you about the rest of the week.
yeah, probably does. I'd like to also inquire about. I'd like to be incredibly praising and be like, oh, I'm so glad. I knew I was lucky to have you as my assistant, sort of thing. Really big up Tolan. And then inquire as to what headway they've made into my research, or into our research.
Make a charisma check for the ability of the encourage us.
Okay.
My hand.
Just base charisma.
Yes,
Tea.
18.
18. Okay.
Tea time.
The letter contact says, "Oh, thank you very much, advisor. It's well, we've managed to get the little things running around. We managed to use the basis of an enchantment that already exists to get them fully animated. They can pick things up. They can work together. We've got them in sort of different sizes at the moment.
Sweet.
Just testing with slightly bigger ones, and see how that goes."
One reply would just be, "That's great to hear. Keep up the good work. I leave it in your capable hands."
Okay.
And I guess I'll split up that 2,000 that we got.
333 each.
Yes.
Split around 6 of us.
And one for someone. Or is it 2?
333, did you say?
Wait, yeah, I think it is 2.
There's 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Nero, can you hold on to this, please?
Oh, I forgot I was recording.
Cedric's money as well.
I'd have 1,000
I've
if
got
I
a
gave
separate
George 200.
payment for it somewhere.
You got a bad
Where
man.
is it?
I can't, honestly, just at any point you get fed up, just tell me.
But in the meantime, I'm just... It's just weird to me.
So that's... Right. We've got 562 gold.
798.
Yeah, sorry, platinum's 10 times more than gold, correct?
Yes.
Cool. Just a quicker way to fill this in.
Thank you.
There's 2,000 gold in platinum pieces.
It's 2,000 gold, but it's in platinum pieces.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll put it in all as gold.
Yeah, that's easier.
333 gold.
Correct.
We've got we can get it changed to gold.
I was gonna say, there's a bank. It's
Yeah.
easy enough to do.
Four.
Oh, can we-
2,000 platinum.
Can we do that? Can I change 1,000 gold into 100 platinum?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's a lot of merchants on this island. They have to convert their coin somehow, just
I mean,
for
look,
ease
look
of
at all the
carrying.
gold that just walked out that throne room. Someone in this country is going to take it.
Right.
Anything else, Lyra? Oh, sorry. You do get the sign off for the Contrivance Union sigil.
Oh, cool. I was actually going to say, if there's going to be any shopping done, I do want to see if I can get those components I need for teleportation circle.
Okay.
But
You can still do that, but yes.
Yeah.
Lyra.
Okay. The first thing is the Seda Alpha.
Yes.
Is it located in the city?
Yes.
Right. I will make a journey there.
Okay.
And see if I can speak to anyone.
The Royal Guard following you behind sort of leads. Well, he follows initially, and then he realizes you don't actually know where you're going, and then starts
Would you
walking
mind?
alongside and leads you
Thank
there. Sort of leads you into it. Anyone in particular you wish to speak to, my lady?
I don't. There was a gentleman I met briefly before we left, but I'm not sure I caught his name. He's probably too busy to speak to me. If anyone is willing and able to speak to a visitor, I have some questions of an arcane nature.
Okay. I will bear with me one moment. He sort of steps away and has a quick conversation with someone inside. Says, the lady Shea Roywin will see you. She seems to be available at the moment. She is the mistress of the arcane to the king, so this is quite an unusual honour. I shall wait outside. Sort of lead you up inside to what is quite a grand study. Not quite Professor Dumbledore and Harry Potter level, but it is a large office with books lining, a few knickknacks that some of them do, as you sort of walk in, look up and just look at you and just watch you walk in.
Sorry, what's looking?
Sort of random knickknacks like little figurines of birds and animals.
that genuinely. Okay, it is what you said. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What things are what I said they are.
Things are looking up like
Animal things.
yes, are looking.
But there's also a teacup that sort of turns and looks.
Yeah, this is what I was weirded out about for a second. That's what I was trying to figure out.
And it sort of it stands up and rushes over towards towards a teapot that then stands up and just tips in. You seem to. Mistress looks up at you, and it's the woman that you saw in
In the
the
purple
throne room.
robe.
Yes, wearing that
She's
same.
still hooded.
She is still hooded. She looks at you. Greetings, my lady. I didn't catch your name previously.
I'll sort of nod my head respectfully.
Nod your hair.
Nod my head respectfully. And by the way, I'm reasonably contented and happy at the minute, so I
Spring?
will be in autumn.
Oh, autumnal. Okay.
Autumnal colouring. Thank you for seeing me, mistress. My name is Lirele Yavalwa. I was, as you know, one of the king's attendants while he was away.
Right. I have been mistress of the arcane to the royal family for a good 300 years, but I have time to discuss matters.
There were two matters in particular I wanted to discuss. The first, I did raise with the previous king.
Tea, she says, as it seems that the teapot is now warmed up sufficiently and is now pouring itself into the cup.
Thank you very much.
The cup runs over.
Take a sip.
As you pick it up, you can still see, rather distracting, it's vibrating slightly because the legs are still running.
I'll give it a stroke to calm it down.
Maybe
The
blow on it.
leg just sort of curl up.
I didn't know you wanted to add creep.
That's great.
Did that just happen? It did. It did just happen. Never
Yes,
mind.
there was
Jojo takes all the psychic damage.
Wow.
there was a
I'm just
particular
going to throw things at him now.
there was
just
a
physical
particular
damage now.
Subject I raised with the king during the meal we shared,
Mm-hmm.
and he had said we would be able to speak further on it, and unfortunately now, of course, that is not possible. But
You-
I was going to consult with him on the matter of moonblades.
Yes, I'm aware of your conversation that you had with the king. I was there in attendance as well.
Of course.
I was that master that you apparently saw.
Sure, it was a male person I saw at that point.
I don't always wear the same form.
Of course, I should have expected. I apologise for my short-sightedness.
In any event, I know a little of moonblades. They are connected to certain bloodlines. My family is not a position of owning one, but I believe the king has one in his court. Why? What do you wish to know?
My understanding is that moonblades are weapons with such a lineage and such powerful magic behind them that they are, to an extent, intelligent. That there is a personality to them.
This is correct. I've heard such as well.
And I've also understood that they do not abide the touch of evil or accept being used for evil deeds.
I have also heard this.
Unless I was very much fooled, I witnessed a moonblade being used. I thought, well, by someone I consider to be doing evil things, or to be part of an evil group. And I don't know whether that means that the Moonblade is in some way being fooled, or if it's a question of whether it's subjective, what is good and evil.
From my understanding, she sort of leans forward, puts her, interlocks her fingers. This appears to be a question of philosophy and morality, not one of arcane. My understanding for these particular weapons is that they find virtues that they bind to. So it may be that whomever is wielding such a blade, they believe that what they're doing is right and just.
I can well believe that. Thank you. You cleared up a lot for me there. Yes, that makes a great deal of sense.
There was a second issue, you said?
There was. This one, I hope, is more straightforward. I assume you're familiar with the spell of banishment.
I am.
Uh,
Gee. Openly takes out a book and starts reading it, sort of half paying attention to what's going on. You're slightly... kind of understand that she's probably busy, but also this is annoying.
You probably realise that I am not from... not from here.
She looks up through her eyelashes. Yes.
You know where I am from.
Yes.
And you are presumably aware then what happens when I'm affected by that particular spell.
Yes.
I was wanting to inquire whether there was a way of preventing that particular effect. I don't mean to... I know being immune from such spells is almost impossible and extremely difficult at best, but is there a way to make it seem, to make it effectively that I am from this plane of existence, so that I'm not returned to the Feywild by magic gone astray?
She thinks for a moment. Sort of twiddles her fingers, and a book gets up and walks over into her hand. She flicks it open. I believe that there is a spell that could assist you. It is one that would need to be cast upon you for 30 days, every day, for it to take effect and to be permanent. Otherwise it will last for a day only.
I see.
When I say permanent, I mean semi-permanent, of course. If it is dispelled, then... what's the phrase that the Midgardians use? Shit out of luck.
I see. And the name of this spell?
It's an aura that is conjured by Nistul, but cast at a higher potency. It's a lesser used form, but it could assist in this manner. At least disguise your true nature.
Thank you. I will look into this further. Thank you very much for your time, Mistress.
Nods. Close the book. Do finish your tea before you go.
Thank you. How is it?
Yeah, it's perfectly pleasant, actually. Some of the best tea you've had. It's
I haven't
very
had a lot.
flavourful.
I haven't had a lot.
No, it's perfectly steeped though. It's not too strong.
Very nice. Thank you. I'll put it down and presumably watch it run away.
It runs
To the
off.
kitchen.
It runs off to where there's a little slight slide down by the side of the thing. It just sort of slides down and goes up, like a Hot Wheels ramp. Just goes down and just vanishes.
Lovely.
Crashed.
Thank you, Mistress. And I will leave.
Okay, you leave. Josh, whoring?
No.
Ooh.
You've changed.
Uh,
Oh, you imposter.
It's Lee. Lee's back.
I have my reasons, which I'll get to in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, basically shopping. Gonna get my clothes repaired. Going to get a proper somber suit to go along with everyone else.
Mm-hmm. That will cost you about 15 gold
Yeah.
to get that sorted.
Can all of us have done that at some point?
Yes,
in
you
the
could.
week?
There is clothing provided for you within the palace, but it's sort of like one outfit to sort of keep you modest. But you can all go around if you want to and purchase a set of finer clothes. Cedric's does cost 20 gold because extra fabric.
Lyra, can you
Pay the gentleman.
take that money out of whatever I have?
Yes.
Thank you.
And I'm going to visit the magic shops, sort of looking for armor, equipment, weapons, anything.
Okay.
That upgrade on what I've got.
Make an investigation check.
Oh God! I've got to save my D10.
No, this is over the course of a week, so
You know,
It's pretty good.
so you know what? I could just use it for the hell of it.
yeah.
That's a 22.
22. Okay. You do find there's 2 magic shops in here, which is unusual. Most cities, if they have one, have only got one. The main one that is seemingly available for people at a relatively cheaper price is Outcasts, which is the one that you went to previously with a slightly mad elf.
And the slightly dubious products.
Slightly dubious products. Sort of looking around there for the sake of brevity, there is nothing that is suitable for you.
Yeah.
There is scale mail, but there isn't anything that would suit your
Yeah.
wearing. The other shop, which is the Mistoir Armoire, is quite lavish in its decorations. It looks like it's a beginner's shop more than anything else. It looks like it's got a lot of spell components and a lot of basic items that come through. They do, however, take commissions. So if you wish to have something enchanted, you can do.
No, nothing immediately obvious that springs to mind.
Okay.
So yes, that was just sort of the boy thing.
Mhm.
The main thing, and the reason why I'm not going whoring, is because I'm going to be acting as a respectable member of the court, and for once using my courtier feature of a court functionary.
Mm-hmm.
I can gain access to the records and inner workings of any noble court or government I encounter. I know who the movers and shakers are, whom to go to for the favours I seek, and what the current intrigues of interest in the group are. So I was spending a week schmoozing and
Okay.
trying to get a read on the various
Make-
factions.
Make for me a
That's strong.
make a
in the
strength
right
charisma
environment.
check.
It doesn't come up very often.
Yeah, but when it does, that's nice.
This is knowing your background features, guys. They can be useful.
I'm a soldier.
Yeah, but then you rolled a 2 on the charisma check.
Yeah, it doesn't go particularly well for you.
It's really close to the
Should
20
save
there.
that D10.
Use your power and go back to the last saving point.
Yes. Yeah, that's a 5. So
5?
My good idea isn't going to result in that.
Okay.
I feel.
You spend a bit of time. The main problem that you come across is that the court is not being held because it is national mourning. The king hasn't called for the court to come together. You have a few conversations with people in taverns, and it does cost you about 15 gold, which is not a problem. But buying drinks for people in quite lavish ways of trying to just get information out of them. The main intrigue that you get out of what's going on is what killed the king.
Yeah, we were doing that ourselves.
There's also who, if anything,
Why killed the king?
when killed the no.
We know that one.
We know when, yeah. But that's the main thing of intrigue, and also the other one is where Joralis has been, and why they left Mr. Shit-Eating Grin on the throne for as long as he did.
Also, they don't like him either.
Some of them don't. The ones that you speak to,
Shit-eating grin.
That's how I'm going
The
to
ones-
refer to him now.
the ones that George tends to speak to, which would be the younger ones of the lords that he is able to speak to, sort of the ones about your level, essentially, compared to your family, of being the one of the youngest children that's not really going to get anywhere, but knows what's going on.
The weak link.
Not the weak links per se. It's more the ones that aren't in the immediate line of succession.
Yeah.
So you do manage to get a little bit of conversation out of them and get some of the story. They don't particularly like him. Their parents are more inclined towards him. Some of the older ones are more sympathetic, particularly the ones who don't have children.
My God, I thought he was evil, and now we find out he's a Tory.
So, still.
Please let's not go into politics on this show. I don't have the energy for it. Generally,
We'll just put
I don't
a
deal with it on
backstop
the internet
that,
either.
it'll be
Nice.
So, yeah, okay. So that doesn't get me an awful lot, but I do have quite a nice week living the high life and
Yeah, pretty much.
the rich lifestyle I was accustomed to before.
There you
setting
go.
off on my adventure.
You have a good day because although you're human, a lot of people seem to be more intrigued about the fact that there's a human staying in the palace, and sort of some of them haven't necessarily been to court yet, so they're liking the idea of being able to get some information out of you.
You get nothing out of them. They get everything out of you.
Asher,
Are there any temples to various gods in this place?
yeah,
What ones?
many.
Many. Is there one for Odin?
There is. There's one to Odin. There's one to Frey. There's one to Freya. There is one generic pantheonic temple that is there for pretty much all of the gods that are available if they need to. But the main ones are to Frey, Freya, and to Odin in this city.
I would
And then there's
like to
one.
try and go to the Temple of Odin.
Okay, you can go there. And there is the statue of Odin.
Of whom I recognise now.
You do recognise this. It's the same statue as the one that was over in Asgard. Sort of sat there with the eye. And you sort of stare at that eye for a moment. Roll an intelligence check.
14.
It's a pretty good eye. Looks just like the guy himself.
I feel like I've missed something now. I would like to try and pray in front of said statue
Okay.
for like 12 hours long.
Okay.
Willing for something to happen at any point.
Make a religion check. Yeah, that's about right.
Oh,
You have got your D10.
no.
Okay, you sit there for 12 hours throughout the day praying, meditating, contemplating. People come and go. You sort of hear them around you. You feel like you're getting into the right rhythms, and then you'd hear someone sneeze off in the far corner. You just sort of go. Or someone would sort of walk past you and then sort of trip over your foot. It's not really paying attention. You just get, why, bro? Just why? Nothing comes to you.
So that's one day gone.
One day.
The other day.
One pray day.
Yeah, one pray day. I'll be back. I need to go and see a blacksmith or somewhere a nice blacksmith. Though.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Rolling a different dice.
Yes.
Investigation.
Yes.
14.
14. Okay. You managed to talk to some of the guards there, sort of get chatting with them a little bit, and have a little bit of a spar session with them because they can see that you're quite muscular. Just so they can test themselves, and they get hammered easily. You don't even try. Sometimes, and you just sort of knock them over with the flat of the blade to the point that it's embarrassing for them. They eventually tell you that where the royal blacksmith is, and they sort of guide you along. And it is an elven gentleman, but they are a partner to a dwarf. So between the two of them, they mix the two main styles of dwarven and elven smithing. The finery in the elven style with the robustness and the solidity and the just pure craft. That is the dwarven ability.
Awesome.
So, what can we do for you, milady?
Place Shatterfang on the desk in front of them.
That is a wow. May I? They sort of look at it. And they turn it in their hands and hand it down to the dwarf. He goes, "That is a beauty of a fucker."
I love dwarves.
Dwarves are great.
That is. Sorry,
One day.
Why does none of the pieces?
I know, right?
We're not worthy.
I know.
Almost go to.
No one's worthy.
I always nearly do, and then
That is quite a beastly little thing. I love that. Do you know who made this?
I don't.
What's the name of this weapon?
Shatterfang.
I am going to the law store with that one. I'm going to find out who made this because they are. I've got an erection. This is
wait for that.
It's
just sexy. The elf looks at it and goes, "And yeah, what can we do for you?"
Nothing, I just wanted to see a dwarf.
I want to see a dwarf's erection, to be honest. I'm done now. Bye.
Yeah, got everything I needed for the next week. I need a sheath of equal quality.
Dwarf's eyes just widen. Oh, I can fucking do that. Yeah, if you want, I can definitely deal with that. We're gonna have to keep the sword, of course, just to make sure it all fits properly. Make sure that the weight isn't off balance, so you got it on your back.
I'm sure something can be arranged.
For this, I'd almost have to pay you, but of course my partner, they're not really too keen on us giving things away for free, so let's say for this masterful piece, 40 gold.
Done!
Come back in about 2 days and we'll have something ready for you.
Fantastic. That went so much better than I thought it would.
You go off, you come back 2 days later.
It's gone.
There is two things that
It's
you
sold
notice. There's two things that you notice. First of all, the scabbard that is made is beautiful. There is engraved gold and silver filigree of basically the silver makes out a scene of snow and just general things, and the gold is outlining wolves that are just dancing through this, and it is just the most beautiful thing you've ever seen on this. Second thing you notice is that there's now an oil painting on the back wall of the dwarf holding this sword.
Everything I wanted and more.
Just hanging on the back, just sort of like, yeah. Right, that's satisfactory for you. You can see he's really holding back. He has to give
I'm
it
going to grab the
back.
scabbard and the sword is going to stay where it is. Like a...
Thank you for your custom.
You're welcome. I'll give him the 40 gold.
We appreciate any time you want to come back and any craftsmanship, please do think of us.
Oh, I will. I'm in the palace for the next couple of days, so
Right,
if you want to come up and use it, feel free.
Oh, I'm going to take you up on that offer. Do you mind just writing that down for me so that he can get past
I'll
the
write
guards?
it down for him.
Thank you very much. Wait till I tell my brother about this. And he just
How many
wanders
dwarves are going
off.
to turn up at my door? 7 dwarves. In a long coat. Just one tall, wobbly man.
There's one evening where you're just sort of like a couple of days after this, and there's a knock at the door, and the Nute sort of, excuse me, my lady, there appears to be some dwarfs here for you. They say that they could play with your sword.
That would be correct.
Do you wish to supervise them, or...?
Sure, yes, I wouldn't let them run around alone with it.
You head down, and there are 3 dwarfs there. One looks quite young, for a dwarf. Still an adult dwarf, but it still looks quite young. And then there's the other 2 that are just beaming. They're just studying the blade, and they look around, and they see that there are some training dummies on the inside, and they just go, they just say to one of the cards, "Do you mind if we just?" And they go, take the blade and takes up and just cleaves the dummy completely in half. That is magnificent.
I summon the 2 dire wolves out.
Holy shit!
Ta-da!
I did not know that. Fuck me sideways. Do you mind if
When
we...
do we turn into a Dwarven Erotica podcast?
About now.
So, welcome to Eat, Quit and Seduce Dwarves.
Eat dwarves.
They spend the rest of their time... They basically spend a good 5 hours playing with the sword.
Go for it.
It gets well past midnight before they leave. Because they've obviously just come from the end of the working day.
Yeah,
They've just
yeah.
turned up. Whilst it's going on, they're sort of making drawings of this to see if they can make like anything vaguely similar. I look of it. Doesn't bother you.
It will.
It will.
Years' time.
In 6 years' time.
Anything
when
else you wish to do?
I need to go to somewhere. I would like to get some symbols drawn up
Okay.
on
Just find an artist.
on fine cloth and display the symbol, which I did
Yeah.
showed you, and I would like 100 copies of that.
How do you want them made? Do you want them to be metallic? Do you want them to be cloth? Do you want? How do you want them to be? Do you want them ceramic?
God, who?
No. Something that could be worn like on a patch or anything. That
Okay,
would
so
be-
woven patches.
yeah.
Okay.
Again.
That'll probably run you 5 gold
Okay.
to get the 100 that you want with the style
and
that you want and the beautiful design.
The rest of the time, I do just want to just keep going back to Odin's temple every night.
Okay. Make a religion check for me.
Fuck with me now. That was a 10 on that, and that
And
was
a 13.
13, so
It's 20.
23, 20 plus 3.
26. On the last night of your
Oh,
meditations,
of course it would be.
you close your eyes and you think. And you focus on the statue as you open your eyes and you just look up. And you have a moment of clarity. You know what you've done. You know why you were exiled and you were thrown from the wayside. You know that it's just and it's fair. You felt some shame about what had happened. That there is disappointment. Like a father who has watched their child go and do something destructive at the expense of someone else. And you've had that niggling feeling at the back of your mind ever since this went away. You had that sort of lasting look that came back to your memories. The last thing that you saw before your new life became in South Peak was just the look of Odin banishing you away. And that was sort of the only image that you could ever draw back of your mind of Odin in that particular instance. But now, as you look up at the stern face that is on the statue, it's not too dissimilar to that emotion that's there. You almost feel as if there's warmth in the eye, as if there's a smile looking down at you now, as if you have taken a step in the right direction, that there were trials that were set out for you, that you now know that it is a journey that you've had to do to work your way back, to earn your place once again. You have taken a step. There is pride, there is warmth, there is still a degree of the weight to it, but it's of expectation. It's sort of a challenge almost. You've started. What next?
We shall see.
And that's where we'll take a break, because it's a good moment to stop and to deal with that, and we'll come back to Cedric afterwards if there's anything he wants to do. So, we'll see you very shortly. We're back in a few minutes. See you then. Bye. And we're back. So, we are just going to pick up where we left off.
Sorry, I've got to do that at 50 frames.
That's good. I like that if you're doing that and Ross has only got the camera on me, that one's not showing anything.
That is pretty much the case, yeah. You were
So,
returning.
coming back into what people were doing during this week-long voyage of time, Cedric, what have you been doing with yourself? I would. That's why I asked the question.
So, I want to
What do you want?
catch up with the revival host because it's been a year since I've made contact with them because we died and then we're underground, then we're above ground, then we're in the Shadowfell, and then now we're back and there's a chance to actually do something. So, is there to start with, any contact or guild hall or anything here?
Make an investigation check.
Woo!
Representative.
You dice.
Yeah, also
Who dis?
the internet died, so this is making D&D Beyond really cool right now. Okay, cool. Investigation. Oh yeah, I forget. I'm just not intelligent. 14.
14. No.
Son of a gun.
Seemingly wandering around here, the guilds that were on Fioros,
Yeah.
not in Jorvik.
No evidence of.
Nope.
Boy, that
At
was a lot of nada. Okay.
Doesn't mean you can't start a chapter here.
I mean,
Kind of need to know more about what it actually is to start with.
yeah, that's the main problem. Okay.
No, start your own chapter with blackjack and hookers.
just
You
figure
already
out,
have a hooker.
figure out as we're going along. Okay. The guy who made my armor, is he here?
Yes.
I will go back there
Okay.
because I promised to give feedback on the armor.
Yes, you did. This is for Keelan Telebriel,
Yes.
who you come in.
Down. Got the name written down.
Yep.
SOB next.
Short, very short elven gentleman who come in. He's still got the burn on the side of his face. His hair is, you can see the tips are now coming out a bit. The roots are sort of coming through brown, and it's still got mostly blue though, but it's just sort of
Okay.
that annoying tint. He still has his left arm in a sling. So, hey, yeah, oh, yeah, I remember you. Yeah,
Hello.
wow, yeah, you still got that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it doing? You good?
Yeah, really good actually. I was in some fights and I only very nearly died several times rather than actually dying.
But you didn't
a
die.
few times.
Is that because of the armor?
Yes.
That help?
I think so. Yes.
Excellent. Awesome. Good to hear. All right, I'll start planning more. He takes a pen, a quill, and just starts writing on a piece of paper.
Anyway, that was it really. I
Oh.
just wanted to give you some feedback whilst I was around.
Okay. Do you not want to look at things?
Yes, they're very nice.
Yeah, they are. There's things to buy.
Oh, yes.
Do you want to buy anything? Does anything suit you?
Does anything suit me?
Make an investigation. Perception check. For Cedric.
Can I just use my natural? Oh, I mean, you know what? I'm just going to randomly throw my D10 in there.
Sure.
That is
49.
a 24.
24. There's a few things that catch your attention. First thing that you kind of see that there is a rack of healing potions. Ooh. There's about 4 of those racked up underneath his desk, sort of in the glass cabinet front. There is a mantle of sort of a midnight blue material that sort of splays out. It's kind of like a spider web shape, sort of like the exterior of a spider web, if you think about it in that way.
Yes.
But it's not woven like a spider web, it just has that sort of outer shape.
Yeah.
And there is this sort of bag that is displayed, it's open next to the potions, that has these small glass-ish beads. There's about 7 in the bag, you can see.
What do they do? And I'll point to the bees.
These are beads that have a little bit of force in them. You can throw them, and they explode, and then they can protect you. Or trap someone. It's like a little bubble. Create a bubble from a bubble.
I understand bubbles, yes.
Yeah,
That's
but it's a
understood.
really strong bubble.
Oh, okay.
Things can't get in or out.
How much is it?
1,500 gold
Okay, so
for the 7.
I don't carry my money round with
Oh.
me.
I can put it to safe if you want. If you're going to come back and get them.
Maybe. I don't really know how much money I have. I could
You
have
just see
one,
his face
or I could have 50,000.
confused.
I will come back
Okay.
with some other people.
My
Yeah, right.
And I will have a better idea. Just whilst I'm here, though,
Yeah.
can you tell me what the cloak does, please?
This is great. This is really good if you're going to be in a situation where there's a load of magic flying around and it will protect you.
Happens often.
Yeah, it will protect you. You look at where Kafina would be if she was there. Sort of just behind you.
And on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how much is that?
That is 4,000.
Oh, I'm sure I have that much money.
Okay. I'll keep it all ready for you.
Excellent. Just yes, put it all to one side, and I will.
Okay.
I will be back soon.
Sure.
With my piles of gold.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Get your gold. You just close the door. You just ding, ding.
Not sure if you've got 1,500. Surely you got 4,000. Good to know.
Or 4,000 as humans say it.
Yes, but I'm just making it obvious. So
For who? You're not
I
there.
don't know. Cedric apparently doesn't know that one.
Yeah, but you're not there either, so who...
Yeah,
why do you...
Cedric doesn't know how much money he has.
But he knows numbers, doesn't he?
No.
Yeah, but he just.
1, 2, some, lots, many.
Yeah.
Not
He
enough.
knows that 1,500 is less than 4,000. But he doesn't know what. He just thinks he has 5,500 gold. He doesn't know what he's got. He just piles.
Just
piles of
handing
money.
handfuls of coins.
So that's
Yeah.
where you started.
Yes.
Anything else?
I will find Lyra if I can at some point.
Okay,
And return.
Easy enough to find
And
Lyra.
in fact,
Especially if she's looking for you.
oh, okay, excellent. I will potentially ask the rest of the group if they also are wanting to make a visit to this place. I feel like George, you passed up on the opportunity to do it.
He already went there at one point.
Okay.
What place?
Oh, this is the dog.
This is the no high quality goods that
Only a
never,
I wasn't
slight
here that
chance of
session,
burning.
have
so-
never failed Cedric.
It's true.
Just some other people.
Hi everyone. Does anyone want to go to that shop which has the really nice, really high quality goods?
You mean the blacksmith?
There's a
No.
blacksmith?
Well, yes. Hallelujah.
That's
that is
nice.
very
I
nice.
might ask you about that in a minute.
They sell
Um,
very good high quality.
Do you mean Keelan's shop?
Yes.
Outcasts?
Yes.
Oh.
I have been there. There was nothing much I wanted.
There's little beads which turn into giant bubbles, and there is a cloak that's really good when magic is flying around everywhere. And there's potions.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I don't want that, but I was told by the gods that I don't.
Now, there's a problem with
Didn't
that
say.
shop, Cedric.
Yes.
You see, those magic
The
items...
goods are really, really good.
The magic items are made by students who are just learning to make the magic items.
And it's surprising how good the
And
items are.
sometimes there are really quite bad things wrong with them. And you won't know until you try.
Have you been experiencing some problems then?
Well, you heard my boots.
I thought you were just
oh,
being
that,
really noisy.
naturally, I don't know that much about stealth.
Yeah, those boots are supposed to help me be even stealthier than usual. And no.
Well, maybe you should take them back.
Well, I don't think I can. But there's a problem.
I'm really
with
good
armour
friends with the
as well.
shopkeeper now.
That's nice. I mean, how much do you want to buy these things if you want?
4,000 was mentioned, And 1,500 was mentioned.
Well, you have a bit over 500 gold.
Right. I see how this could be a problem.
We do have party funds, because we have money left from the prize from the Alaathreth. Alaathreth. That's the one. I was so close.
I know.
Close than what I would have been.
The da 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 da.
But I think we need to be sure
No, yeah,
that everything is going to work properly and be really worth it.
I wouldn't want to spend everyone else's gold either. Okay.
We can go and take your money, or
Well, I think I need to go and tell him that he can sell those items to someone else. At least.
well, we can do that.
I'll go with.
Kavina, you going as well?
Make it an outing.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if I didn't actually plan much stuff, so yeah, sure.
Well, you said you wanted to buy components.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
We can make it a
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Oh yeah, the thing I talked about over the break and before the session.
all
Yeah.
the stuff I role played before all happened in one day. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is.
Did we get all our items back?
Yes,
I
we
know
did.
it was sent
No.
for, but I just want to make sure. That
Yes, you did. You did get them back. I forgot
So-
to mention that. Sorry,
Okay,
yes, you did
no.
get everything back.
So you've got the nice shield back.
Yes.
Staff of healing.
Stuff
And
feeling.
stuff, and I've got my
Did
sword
the
back.
staff have an asterisk next to it?
You don't know.
Yes. Yes, it did.
No.
Haven't used it.
Inflict
No.
wounds. The staff of inflict wounds.
Okay.
Still useful.
We can probably find a shop that sells sort of arcane components.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Let's go shopping.
Yay! Our shopping trips are awesome.
What are you coming with?
No.
Well, okay.
He's gonna go
then.
hang out with the lords and ladies
I
again.
would've been to that shop.
that's true. That is true.
Although, it has just reminded me, I did find a mystery potion when we were in the Shadowfell.
That's
It was
what I found too.
climbing up the side of the vial. Can I get that identified myself?
Yes, you can. It will cost you 10 gold for the
Yeah,
privilege
yeah.
of having it identified. It is a potion of climbing.
Okay.
I found 2 unidentified potions.
Do you remember what they were?
No, they were
They're
just
unidentified.
What? No, what the distinctions were, or where
I
you
didn't
got
get
them.
One. Where did I think
They were from
they
Nazgul's room.
From
weren't they?
Nazgul.
That's full. Okay.
They look potiony.
They were.
In a glass bottle.
Like a jello.
They're like this big.
Yeah.
Scoop
Got
it
a
out
cork
with
on the top.
They were.
Yeah.
Keep
Uh,
away from that.
liquid.
She was a potion addict.
Was it Nazgul or was it in the Sinister Basilica? It may have been the Sinister Basilica.
It might have been on the body of the lich.
Yeah.
Hierophantic lich.
Sure, it's fine. Taste test.
Oh, they're potions of greater healing.
2 potions of great healing.
Yes.
That could have been helpful.
I was looking through my other notes and I
Oh.
remembered I actually wrote those down during the break. at
There
one
was
point.
also potions there, so we could buy those at least.
Am I able to get anything identified?
Yes.
I have the Onyx hand.
Okay.
Of, I believe it was Vecna's thing from the Sinister Basilica, and I think that was it.
Okay. You have it identified. It just appears to be a statue. It's just an idol of. And it's gone.
That way.
Doesn't break when you throw it.
And then Hag goes.
And buries under the ground.
And
Actually,
will remember that.
it's something I should have done when I was doing all the note stuff back to Tolan. The notes from, I know you said it a minute ago, the vulture guy.
Nazgul.
Nazgul.
Nazgul. Nazgul's notes and the notes that were in the Lich's area as well. I grabbed all of those and apparently some random spellbooks. I was actually just going to send them all through to Tolan and go, hey, can you look through these?
Spellbooks can't fit
Just the notes then. I'll send all the notes through.
individually.
Is the bag this big?
Smaller.
Okay, so the bag's smaller than this.
Yeah,
It's
but I can roll up
it's-
paper.
This
this
is a visual for you.
Ross,
That's
it's
all.
this size.
Okay, there you go.
I can fold up a sheet of paper.
Yeah.
A whole book.
No,
Let's,
I'm
you know what,
really
page by
Chad?
page.
Let's get a phone book.
fold it
Let's
up.
not.
Rip it in half.
Shrink it. What great use of the spell.
Actually, yeah, I should probably just look through it myself at some point instead of just sending it off to him. He won't know what it is.
No,
Okay.
it's slave
we just had
labour.
a week of leisure to look through stuff.
That's why I'm trying to fit
You
it
just
into.
try to avoid rolling dice at this stage.
Anyway,
Roll
sorry,
a
I don't mean
deception
to
check.
stop the shopping trip.
That you're going on as well.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I tried opening it up and getting some more.
You head back to Outcasts.
I'm back again.
Oh, hi! Yeah!
So, apparently I don't have as much money as I thought I did.
Oh.
Sorry. But I can probably buy the potions. How much were they?
They were 50 gold apiece.
Sorry, I was too busy paying attention to the miming that was happening to me. then.
50 gold apiece.
50 gold.
How many are there?
4.
You can buy those.
I
if
will
you
buy.
like.
I will buy those.
Also, whilst you're...
Parents of the child going shopping.
Can I afford that? Mum.
If you're fucking with it,
The other thing,
buy
that
it.
the thing that you notice, Lyra, that your mind is sort of drawn to, is that scroll of plane shift, which is sitting on the side.
That could be useful.
Do I notice you're looking at it?
Your past perception, yeah.
Keelan,
Ooh.
how
Hi.
much? There's a magical scroll there for the plane shift spell.
Yeah, the one that will take you around. Yeah,
How much is that?
3,000.
Do you have 3,000?
Not personally, no.
I feel like we're all really poor.
We have money left from the prizes.
You can take the rest of my money if you want.
No, that's all right. Sorry, I'm trying to
That's got
get
to be close to 3,000.
this to work again. So there's been over. I will say quietly to the rest of the party, but try to be out of Keelan's hearing.
Okay.
We have something over £6,000.
Pounds of gold.
Pounds of gold?
6,000 gold pieces left from the prize money. But I feel like this might be a very useful thing to have for situations like we were just in.
Yeah.
I also feel like we can beat him down on price just a little, considering the faulty goods he has given you beforehand. Or at least offset the costs a little bit.
I feel like that could indeed happen, but I probably shouldn't be the one to try and do that. I'm not very good at haggling. I mean, maybe you'd like to give it a try.
I can ask the
And you can
gentleman.
be sure to mention the slightly shoddy items I purchased last time I was here.
Keelan, my friend.
Yeah, hi.
So we just took a...
That's a beautiful sword.
It's fantastic. Very good craftsmanship. Something that you would pay a very high price for.
Yeah.
Yes. Unfortunately, the boots that we brought beforehand, my friend said was to help her with some stealthy activities. We just used them, and they did quite the opposite. They, set off quite an alarm. It seems to be that they are faulty. Now, we've spent quite a bit of money in here beforehand, and we're just concerned that the scroll, if it doesn't work as intended, like the boots, whether we would have got our money's worth for it.
Looks like he's just thinking.
Yeah, he looks like he's about.
My armor's brilliant, though.
Yay! Good. Yeah. I'm sorry if you're dissatisfied with any of the goods. I mean, it's what happens when you employ students to do things for you.
Oh, exactly.
That's why you got a good price.
I don't know if she did.
Oh, probably. Yeah, it probably was very, very
Reasonable. Yeah.
But the scrolls I did myself, they're fine.
They're fine. So we can be assured at least that they work.
As I say, I think this would be a very useful item to have, just in general, and I'm sure we can trust Fee to hold on to it and use it at the right time. You can't shake your head; you're not here.
Are you? I'm going to shake my head. Are you sure about that? I mean, I don't think I'm the only person that can cast it, and I am pretty accident prone.
I trust you.
Make a deception check. No.
I would. She's lying out of her ass.
That really means a lot, Lyra. Thank you. Actually, kind of welling up in the eyes, just like, oh my god, Lyra, trust me.
Is there any movement on price on the scroll? It's more than what we can normally afford.
Make a persuasion check.
How much was the price? Sorry.
3 grand.
Yeah, 3,000 ish.
It's a 6th
16.
level spell.
16.
Wait,
I could probably
Sorry?
say 300 off.
300 gold off for a friend of the new king of Alfheim?
Reasonable. That seems very reasonable.
Okay, 2700 then.
I'd say that's a fair price, maybe.
Sure.
Anything else I can do for you?
Do you sell spell components?
Yeah, there.
Oh,
Points at a big wall of spell components.
right. Sorry, distracted by that wall.
The wall of books.
Spell components.
Yeah,
Put
I'm.
that on your.
Is that a spell?
Like Wall of Force, Wall of Books.
Yeah, deals bludgeoning damage instead of.
No, just attacks your intelligence.
Excuse me.
Sorry, just want to take this down quickly. Right. Yes. So I'm after some rare chalks and inks infused with precious gems. It should be about worth 50 gold pieces. It's used for teleportation circle.
Yeah, I know it.
Oh,
I
you know
can do it. Yeah, how many do you want?
So I'm new to the spell.
How many things do you want?
How
How many uses?
Can I get 4?
You can have 3. So that's all I got.
That was actually what I was thinking a second before I jumped to 4. So yes, sounds good. Thank you.
1500 gold.
Yes. Okay. Wait. Hold on. How much?
Yeah, sure. Wait.
What did I try? 150.
Yes. Okay.
You nearly said yes to that.
You nearly beat Jared's perception.
Yeah. You cunning little elf.
I like you. If I ever open a shop, I might inquire as to whether or not you'd like to work there.
I mean, I've got my own shop.
I was going to say, what?
This is my shop.
If I open a really nice shop,
You say-
I'll see if you have cousins that are able to work there.
I feel like this is weirdly racist.
If I offer you more pay, I don't know. I'm rambling. Yes, I'll take that. Thank you.
Just sort of unsure of how to deal with you in this instance.
Let her leave. That's how you deal with it. By letting her leave.
Yeah. So you now have 3 uses of teleportation circle.
Cool. I'll just mark that down.
Alright.
Oh, actually, one more thing. Is there a teleportation circle in this city?
Yeah.
Oh, where?
No idea.
Who would know?
Alpha Seda.
You could try it. Say to Alpha.
Who was that again?
Magic school.
Right.
Big
yes.
College of Magic.
Big College of Magic. Yes, of course.
Ah, yes.
Still
Where, tell me, where would
waiting on the
I
phone.
get a train from? Maybe Grand Central Station?
Yeah. To be fair, I wasn't here the session when you guys first got here, so I
But
missed.
you were here
Yes, you
a
were.
few minutes ago when I went there to speak to the woman with the tea set.
And also, that was you were there for the fight against the school of magic.
Yeah.
That was the session Dan left.
That was here. I thought that was back outside your orbit.
No! That was it!
I didn't know Dan made it all the way to Galactic.
Jared, can I recommend something? The podcast of Eat Christmas Survivor. To catch up on all of the adventures that have happened at this party over the last 45 weeks.
Maybe take notes.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
that-
nearly
that
been a
might help.
year.
It's been about a year since we started the campaign because we've had breaks in between.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary, guys! For whenever it actually is, because I don't know.
No one knows.
We shall find out.
We'll just get cake sometimes, so it's a good excuse.
There you go. Yes, so you get the sense that the Magic College might be a
Yes,
good place to
of
go for magic.
Yes. Yes. I drank this morning, so.
What, Jared or caffeine?
I've been morning drinking.
Yeah, but you're Australian, so.
Oh yeah, good point.
Nighttime drinking.
Nah, is that stereotype not true? We're all thieves, but not drunks. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Does anyone else have anything they want to buy? I think.
I bought my
Not
potions.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, Lyra mentioned about wanting to go to the blacksmith.
I do want to go to the blacksmith, but while I'm with Cedric, I need to speak to Cedric as well.
Okay.
Speak with Cedric.
Yeah.
You cast the third level spell Speak with Cedric.
Cedric appears.
It's a combination of speak with plants and speak with
Do you
animals.
resist it?
Yeah, he does, he just
I'm not
walks
willing.
away. He just walks away. Puts his fingers in his ears and goes la 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 la.
Mushrooms.
I guess
Drops a
With
bead
no
of
one else
flowers.
around.
I want it to be reasonably quiet, so maybe on the walk back to the
We
palace
walk
to let
slightly ahead or
everyone
slightly
else.
behind.
I mean, you could always talk to each other in your quarters in the palace.
All that.
Because this is over. This is over a week. You
Later
just,
that day.
things
Wait for
interchange.
my day.
At some point that week.
Meanwhile, back at the palace.
In the Legion of Doom.
I don't want to put any pressure on you,
Okay,
but you
then
are.
don't.
I was going to say, I don't want to put any pressure on you, but
You are-
I'm about to.
Here's all of
are
it.
The only priest of Artemis anywhere near here,
That's
as far as
fair.
I know.
Probably likely.
I like that you looked at me as if I was going to qualify that for you.
No, I should know you wouldn't do something like that.
Maybe helpful.
I need some guidance.
I can do that.
Cast
guidance.
I mean sort of
Yes.
spiritual
Oh,
advice.
right.
And I'm coming to you as a friend, but also as a person who knows these things, as a learned, wise person.
I can do that.
Artemis, as you know, is a goddess of maidens.
Yes.
Now, I'm pledged to her, but I've been having romantic feelings
Dom.
recently. You stop it.
Yeah, I'm going to put a kibosh on that now because it is getting to a point that it's disruptive.
I've been having romantic feelings, and I need to find out from the goddess or from a person with more knowledge than me whether I'm free to pursue them. I have made no pledges to stay a maiden or anything like that, but I want to make sure that I keep to what the goddess has planned for me. So if you could, I don't need an answer straight away, but if you could think
I'll
about
do
it,
some research. Yeah, no.
I'd be very grateful.
My first thought is that so long as you stay independent, so long as you are. So I was just going for the really cheesy, strong independent woman for a second. I failed at the last second.
Pussy.
Yeah, I know. So long as you. It's more about you not submitting yourself to a man or someone else. As long as there is that mutual respect, then we can definitely explore what you need and what the answers could be, but my first thoughts would be that so long as you are not being disrespected, then there shouldn't be a reason that you would be punished or excluded.
Thank you.
He's not exactly like George's.
I see. Thank you. That's very helpful.
I can pray on it.
I'd be grateful, and I'll do the same.
Make a religion check for me, Cedric. With advantage, because
Everything you just said was wrong.
The first one was a 8. The second one was a 1. So I'll go with the stick with my critin.
oh, you got a crit.
Yeah, you rolled a crit and then
20,
rolled again and
literally
got
rolled.
1.
Okay,
21.
nice. D&D. As you sit and you pray, you meditate on this, you wonder about Artemis and her views on this. There's a few things that come to your mind, sort of images and senses. Primarily, she is a goddess of maidens and maidenhood, and she is a protector of those. She does have her followers who follow around, the same as the young companion that you met so long ago now, who is now wandering around somewhere with Spike, looking after the creature and looking after everyone. Well, she does have those.
So it's a baby dinosaur in the corner of the room.
Whilst she does have those followers who specifically swear oaths of maidenhood
Yes.
to Artemis,
Yes.
In exchange for immortality.
Yes.
One of the other facets of Artemis is she is the goddess of childbirth.
Yes.
So,
You need to get jiggy in order to make a baby.
so it would follow
How
that
wisdom be put?
it follows that she understands that it is not a path for everyone, and that she does not scorn those who choose to go down that path.
Basically what I just said.
Basically what you said,
But
yeah.
really badly. No, as in I said it really badly.
Essentially. It's sort of confirming what you have said.
Yes.
That there is that duality that most gods have. That yes, they respect certain facets.
I mean, I'm allowed into the club, so
Yeah, I was going to say, you can...
that alone is
Yeah.
a bit of a...
You wank all the time, so it's fine.
Whoa! We can't do this, but you can drop that bomb!
Yes, I can, because I'm the motherfucking DM.
He's gone. There's Cedric in his room, grunting.
That's his praying. No, but you've had relationships in the
Yes,
past.
yes, Cedric has, yes.
So he understands that there is no particular barrier
Yeah.
to this. So it is of the choice of
Yes.
the individual. Unless she
the-
chooses to go down the
Ma-
path of full maidenhood.
Maidenhood hadn't been... You said it hadn't been... I don't know what the word is. Evoked. So...
Pledged.
Pledged.
Invoked.
Invoked.
I invoke virginity. That's a whole different paladin.
That's a warlock thing, invocations.
Oh, that's right. It's a channel virginity. That's the
Channel virgin.
certain sects of clerics have that.
Only the male.
Welcome to Equal.
So, on one of my final days,
Yes.
I will...
Before you die.
Before I die.
Is
Probably
that
again.
another name for a bard?
No,
You should write that down.
Of the week. Of the week.
Yes.
I will confirm those thoughts to Lyra, saying that you
I've nothing to fear, but fear itself. No.
And giant spiders.
And
But-
this cat.
No, you have nothing to fear
Look.
in pursuing these romantic interests,
Thank you.
and I wish you luck in them.
Thank you. That's very reassuring. Thank you.
And if you ever need any help,
I'll bear that in mind. Thank you.
I will use
Cutting words.
I like how everyone's just like, "What are you using?" They're just throwing it out.
By the way,
No.
the ferry company, I'm suggesting passings and obituaries ferries.
Theodore.
Disguise self
Okay.
and turn into Dranus.
we're like, we can practice talking if you'd like.
That's weird. Sorry. You're
What?
like a brother to me, and I couldn't do that.
But if we could talk, and then you could get comfortable saying the things you need to say, and you could practice talking and saying them directly to
I'm
his
sorry,
face.
I don't think I can do that because
I
I
wish I
know
was
it's
there.
you.
You also know,
Okay.
because of the nature of Cedric's
Disguise
transformation.
self, he's still at a bigger
Still
No.
Still
Because it's
furry.
because it's his racial ability. It can shrink down
Oh, yeah.
to fit the size. But that does mean that when you're talking to the face, you're talking to his chest.
My face is up here.
But does his disguised face have the same kind of quite wide staring eyes when he's focused on you?
Yes, because it's Cedric's eyes.
Because then I'd know it was Cedric, and I couldn't do it.
Well,
Plus the voice.
okay. The option is always there.
That's very kind. Thank you.
I will.
I need to go and see a dwarf
undisguised.
about some armour.
Well, I will come with.
Okay. You head off and find a dwarf.
I mean,
And
I'm
the elf.
presuming Asher will have...
Asher has pointed you to the direction of the blacksmith. He goes, hey, what can I do for you?
Hello. I'm got this armour I'm wearing. It's
Oh, it's very nice.
quite nice. There's a little problem with it.
Oh,
It's enchanted,
hey.
and it's more effective than it would normally be. However, if lightning were to happen to hit me, it would be very bad.
Oh, well, hey, that would be understandable. That's made of metal.
Worse than that.
Oh,
It's
Oh.
a fault with the enchantment.
right. Understood.
So, I was wondering if it would be possible to get a suit similar to this, but maybe without any enchantment.
So you want one that's gives you a little more protection, but is well made.
Well, I'd like it well made. I don't necessarily need it to be sort of extra offensive as this one is, as long as it doesn't mean I'll cook if I get
I
zapped.
can't guarantee you won't cook,
Well, I know.
but you won't cook as fast.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Hey, we've got some armour that would probably suit your physicality. Are you looking for more of the same, or you're looking for something a little different? So you're looking for a particular style.
I mean, this is half plate, and that's I think what I'm looking for. I think anything heavier would be too much for me.
Alright, give me a moment, and I'll see what I can find around here. And he wanders off.
Whilst he's on off, I just had a thought.
Mhm.
If you ever want to get married, I could do a lovely ceremony for
You
you.
could. I'm sure it would be lovely.
Just so you know.
Cling, ting, ting, ting. Ah, shit. Would this do for you?
What does it look like?
Half light. Very finely made. It's very well intricately decorated.
It looks lovely.
So there's little leaves that sort of where the studs are, that sort of binding some of the plates together. They're just sort of decorated around there, and it just you sort of take closer detail onto it, and they look like roses. It's an unnecessary detail, but it's quite pleasant.
And how much would this cost me?
Oh, this'll earn you 750 gold.
That's very reasonable indeed. I was wondering, as I say, this has this enchantment issue, but I was wondering if it could be of any use to you. The plate I'm already wearing.
Make a persuasion check.
Guidance.
Okay.
Not waiting this time.
I'm not even like going to even start describing what I'm doing. I'm just literally guidance them in.
Unnatural 20.
Yeah, it's pretty well made. Blemish aside, I can probably do something with that. Yeah, I imagine we could probably do. I'll say trading that in half price, 375.
That seems extremely reasonable. I will take you up on that. Thank you.
Right, no problem. Hands it over.
I should probably check that this armour does fit me.
You try it on.
Does it?
It fits you perfectly. It seems that at a glance he has managed to get your measurements, which is oppressive and unsettling.
Slightly worrying.
Yeah.
So
It's his job.
I'll work.
It's
fast.
part of his job,
He's
yeah.
professional.
Aye,
So 375 gold.
correct. What, is that you checking her measurements, or...?
Yeah, it was a perception check for George to see if he had a good idea of her measurements, and yes, he does.
Depends whether he's done that while she's wearing the armour or
That's
not.
a 23.
Yeah.
I only just realised
Should
I've
have
been
mentioned
looking.
she knew me.
I've been looking at the skill mods from last level's sheet, not the new one on the computer. So I've been doing everything 1 point lower. Whatever.
This has been a week of discovery, guys.
Yeah.
Finding out that Cedric has never added his racial bonus to his wisdom.
Yeah, you're missing like a +8 or something stupid like that.
Missing 2 to
It's
his...
2 to my wisdom, which would have buffed everything by 1.
I didn't realise, and I don't think it's been useful till now, but I
More
forgot that
spells,
halflings
higher
have
DC,
advantage against
Their
fear
attack rolls.
saves.
Certain halflings do, yeah.
All
I'm
higher.
Lightfoot, so I do.
Is it all halflings?
Oh,
I
it
think
is.
so.
Oh,
So-
okay. Oh yeah, they are brave. It's brave.
Your
Yes.
moonbeam would have done
Yeah,
5.
brave.
The stout ones have resistance to poison.
That's right, yeah.
Cool.
Right. Anything else that anyone would like to do during this week?
I'm going to head to the magic school to get the teleportation circles sigils.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, that's bad.
I like that you're still looking at the wrong modifier.
I'm gonna add the 1. I just know where everything is on the sheet. 12.
They don't let you in.
Why?
Scary.
Because they don't... You're a halfling that's just turned up asking to see the teleportation circle to the school.
Do they tell me that?
No! That's what you get from the fact they just sort of go, no, piss off.
What?
They don't say it in so many words, but it's sort of implied.
Do I do this before the end of the thing?
What, before the end of the week?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of difficult to do it after the week because we haven't done it yet.
No. I meant before
How many
the
more
very end.
days?
Have I got time after that?
So go visit
You do,
again.
yes.
Yeah, to basically
Do you
reach.
tell the rest of us?
Yeah, I was gonna come back and ask if anyone's managed to get in there because I wasn't sure what the deal is.
Well,
I'm
you
guessing
know
the
I-
guys at the front who turned me away don't tell me jack.
No, they're just...
Of course not. So I ask everyone else if anyone's gotten in there and knows what the deal is with this place.
I mean,
No.
I did go in and I was able to speak to someone. I had some questions, but they might have different security about their teleportation circle. I'd suggest that once we're able to speak to him again, we could ask Drellinus.
Alright, yeah, fair enough. I was just hoping to get it before we saw him again, just in case something kicks off, but...
I know.
Oh well.
Alright. So unless there's anything else, the week passes, and there is a knock at the door for each of you. The king would like your presence.
I didn't buy him anything.
Presents.
Oh.
Not presents.
Sorry.
He would like to see you.
The king.
The king, yes.
Right, thank you.
You each put on your fine clothes and head.
Armour, shield, feeling.
Yeah, I'm still keeping my Mizium on, I don't care.
Oh yeah, you can wear over your fine clothes.
I know, it's a shame they cover up my fine clothes, but I mean, come on, what happened last time?
Since my new armour looks so nice, I'll keep it on.
Yeah, it's fine.
We're all armed, ready to go.
Yeah.
They do stop you when they see you going in fully armed and armoured. They're sort of like,
Last time I had to give up my items, I didn't get them back for about a week.
Tell you what, let us have them. We'll stand inside the room and hold them.
Can you stand next to me?
We'll stand behind you, about by the door. No, it's no
Okay.
offence on you. Just as a new king, we're a little sketchy.
Blah, mate. And then pass it.
Here, this is your.
We're the reason the new king is back. I'm
And
pretty sure.
we do appreciate it. However,
However,
general royal protocol.
General
I hand
rule of
over
protocol, I'd like you to go ask him if it's okay with him if we came in with all of our gear.
No, I'm just going to
Make-
Yeah, I hand mine
No,
Make
over.
I'm
it-
not taking my shit off.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, they probably don't mind about the Mizium. Wait, do they?
They're probably more.
It's more the
It's
weapons.
the sharp axe that I'm.
Well,
The
I still
sword
want- I still
made of
want my
glass,
mace to be
then.
geared as well.
It's the weapons. It's the,
17.
I'm not going to ask him. These are his orders.
Give them some shit.
Oh, I mean, I'm keeping the shield.
You can keep the shield in your back. That's fine.
I'm going to
Yeah,
give
right,
my
shield.
2 hand axes.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to put,
I mean, rapier and longbow.
they
Yeah.
just saw Cedric put it away in his bag, right? And they were cool with that.
No,
No, I
he gave
passed
them
it
to
over.
the guy.
Oh.
My axe is over.
No, you said you put your shield away.
But shield
no,
is
I'm just
back.
I'm holding it.
The shield is not like a video game. The shield doesn't go into a rucksack and then vanish forever.
It
just
fit
he's
shields
put it-
in bags. Connor.
I've never tried.
But Connor, do you know whether you can put a spear through one?
Someone's trying to do something stupid. It must be Connor.
I think it was a bit of a freeze, if that's it.
Yeah, it's fine. I understand. Happens a lot. I hand over Shatterfang
Yeah.
and the
I
belt.
got connored.
I got it.
Take them off. Fine.
Yeah, hand the stuff over.
Remember this.
Looks at. So will I. Make an intimidation check.
You're not going to even get his name right on your death list.
I'll kill you.
Your name with also clumsy list.
17.
You sort of glare at him. And you flinch back ever so slightly. I rolled a natural 17 plus stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm like 3 foot tall.
Yeah, exactly. He's just.
Hey, he's used to seeing cannibal versions of you, dude. You ain't nothing.
Yeah.
You got a little bit of glass and metal and shit. You just look very steampunk. Not scared of you.
Yeah.
Not scared of you, little
It's
girl.
the fashion.
You are allowed into the throne room, and Dronalis is sat there.
We're 10 minutes late for the meeting because we were just outside arguing about weapons.
Yes. He's sort of sitting there with a sort of wry smile on his face, just going, yeah, sorry about that. The security protocols and all that.
It's understandable.
You may leave us, says the guards, including the ones that are holding your stuff.
But
They're gone.
my things.
They promised they'd
They're
stand nearby.
just going to be outside. I'm not my uncle.
Okay.
You're fine.
Who else is in the room?
Just him.
Sorry, PTSDing right now because.
Dareth is not there at all.
How may we be of service, Your Highness?
Sorry, just
Well,
really quickly,
yes.
just before you get into the monologuing bit.
You're anticipating a monologue.
I don't know, maybe.
I hand axe him in the face.
Bear with me for my soliloquy.
Detect magic.
Okay.
Is there any magic in the room?
Yes. So, there is.
Or is in...
He has some magic on him.
Yes.
He has some abjuration magic that is just generally on his person.
Yes.
There's a little bit of enchantment magic on 2 sheathed swords, which are either side of the throne,
Yes.
which you're not entirely certain whether that is.
I'll lick them later.
That's him, yeah. You sort of taste the air and you can taste the abjuration around him.
Yeah.
Cedric likes the taste of cold steel.
There is also general abjuration magic around the room that seems to
Okay.
be protecting him in some way.
No invisible people?
None that you can see.
No disguise.
No obvious statues or
Is there a
anything that's
gate
gonna
No.
on the
come-
floor?
There's
Maybe
no
that we
gate.
should avoid.
There's no gate on the floor.
traps or anything like that? No.
If you're looking for traps, that's a whole different thing.
I will look for traps.
Make an investigation check.
Is
Randomly
there a
walking around the
decoration
throne.
I'm just going to be like
on
scrolling.
the table?
There is some
Nine-
decoration.
19.
Okay, 19. There is some decoration around the room. There's actually a change in some of the pictures that are on the walls. Some of the scenes that were up there have shifted, and it seems to be that it's his particular preference that has now gone up. You do notice that his sword that he borrowed from the wall mounted sheath. They're both still there. They've been polished up a little bit, But the way that they were set before, they went behind a sort of ornamental shield. It's part of the mount. They're now in front. It seems to be that it's...
He means
sort of
war.
to it. Looking around, was it 17?
19.
19. Ooh.
I just rolled a 19, I got no mods.
Yeah, fair. You sort of
Just strolling around like,
look around, just trying to make sure.
Yes.
He sort of watches you curiously as you sort of do this, but he's kind of used to Cedric ambling and just doing Cedric things. You detect no traps.
Okay.
Asher.
Can I insight his demeanour when is he cautious? Is it like a serious thing?
Make an insight
or
check.
is it... Never mind.
is this like
Or
a
was it a one?
serious thing?
Someone's died.
Well,
Screw you dice.
hard to read.
Begin monologuing.
Are you all rested? You feeling better from having that arduous adventure together?
We are, and we thank you for your hospitality.
Oh, not at all. It's, well, my uncle's fault that we had to go through that, so I felt it necessary to make it up for you. There are some difficult matters ahead. I've had some troubling reports from the High Priest regarding my uncle and how we're going to proceed with Daereth. As I expected, the kingdom is unlikely to accept him as king since he died. I don't feel good about taking his birthright, but he assures me that he is less inclined to rule than I was. Instead, I shall make him my master of spies and whispers, and present him to the court as a masked individual who has been undercover for my uncle for many years and has just returned from a mission. Childhood friend, we'll say. There's a slight twinkle of amusement in his eyes. I wonder if they'll ever realise. No matter.
Someone might text it to them.
No matter.
Oh shit, they just realised.
Daereth just checked in at the palace. His cover's blown.
Sorry, I've just got a match on Elven Tinder.
Lyra's in the room.
Does not know what to think.
Daereth just checked in
No
at
matter.
the Sylvan Chateau.
No matter. There are other things that we must deal with. First of all, I must offer an official pardon to you, Asher, daughter of Halevi. Your return from the Shadowfell, as seen by my own eyes, is proof enough that the gods have found that you have repented enough from your exile and the matters that led you directly to them. You're hereby free to walk Alfheim as you wish.
Thank you very much.
Of course. To the rest of you, I offer my thanks for keeping us alive during the expedition. I realise I had no right to be there, but I'm glad I was. It's given me some perspective of what is just beyond the faint borders of our plane. It's also led me to want to hold a review to our punishment methods. It seems unnecessary torture to send people there to wander around mad, alone.
And die.
That also happens often. It's probably easier just to execute them. It's not the way I want to lead. For making you all have to deal with that particular issue, I'm going to offer you a choice. This choice will be representative of the eternal friendship that we now hold, and it is that of a home here on Alfheim. Now, I can't provide you one here in Vidblain. There's a bit too much tension over the death of my uncle and cousin, and I would not want to make it appear that I'm flooding the courts with outsiders. But there are properties owned by the Crown of a sufficient size for your group in Andlang and Vathalda. I suppose it would just depend on whether you prefer the ports or the forest.
That is an extremely kind offer, Your Majesty.
We don't need to stand on formalities here. Dorenalis is fine. I imagine Cedric wants to do that, but he doesn't know what it means.
Yeah. He just stares.
just disguise yourself as Duran.
There's no wash on Joanna's over.
Blink for a second. You don't have to give me your answer now, but think about it.
I would prefer the forest.
Okay, that's one
As
vote for
would
the
I.
first.
But
Same.
Forest it is.
We've
Right.
decided.
That
fine
was
with me?
easy. I shall make arrangements for your home in Andlang to be
And Lang.
Andlang.
Is that why we got attacked?
No.
Oh, good. It was in a forest.
It's where we're going to get attacked.
It's where we're going.
Everything happens. No, it's part. It's the southern region of Alfheim that you haven't visited yet.
It's the Wood Elf City.
The Wood Elf City, essentially. Yes. You were attacked sort of in the walk through the forest. It's sort of attached to it, but it's a more civilized area. I can also formally give you your prize for having won the Dala Athreth. So if there is a award I can grant, then please make your request. You won the opportunity to petition the king. Apparently it's me now.
We sorted out. No. It's just the reason we wanted that in the first place was for you, but now that's all sorted. I mean,
There's some really nice items I'd like to buy from a shop,
no.
but I don't have enough gold.
We want the shop.
Do you say that?
No, that's not that's the guy that owns the shop.
You said it, no one else.
No. I'm wondering.
Again, think about it if
Yeah,
you need to.
we completely forgot. I think that's something we should discuss.
Oh, okay, yes, I guess, yeah.
I mean,
I just thought the forest thing came so easily that might also.
that's a preference.
Geronimus, when we were first coming to Viblane, we journeyed through the forest and we were set upon by some succubi. Is that right? I wasn't actually
Succubi
there.
and Succubus, yeah.
There's a succubi and an incubus. Succubus and an incubus.
Succubus and an incubus. Is that something that happens? Are there sort of attacks on travellers passing through the forest?
Not often that I'm aware of. There have been instances where devilish or demonic creatures have appeared.
Are there many sort of instances of monstrous creatures appearing and waylaying travellers?
Again, not often. Some do manage to get off of Niflheim and swim to one of the various islands, or if it's cold enough when the ice forms, they can walk across undetected.
I may have an idea, but I'll let it develop a bit further before I bring it to you.
Very well. In any case, whilst you ponder on those, you may not know this, but we in Jorvik are believers of balance, everything having its place and purpose. In some strange way,
George just does that for no reason.
your group of individuals seem to balance each other, almost as if you represent the Nine Islands. Asher, you hold the ferocity of Niflheim, but kindness and protection of Asgard. Cedric, the cycle of nature representing Vanaheim and Helheim. Kafina, the chaos of Gunungagap, but the focus and craft of Svartalfheim. Kalatar, holding it all together with a song and a smile as to the waves of the bay and the boughs of Yggdrasil, the world tree. George, the charm of Midgard and the cold touch of Jotunheim. Lyra, the light and grace of Alfheim. And yet the burning sense of duty, the fire within that belongs on Muspelheim. And whilst the cold burns from Georges, so too fire must burn within your group. He stands and flicks his wrist, and one of the swords that is sheathed at the ground just disappears and appears in his hand. It's similar in length to Shatterfang before it transformed into a greatsword. This blade, you can sort of see the scabbard is closely engraved with sort of burnt oranges and bronze and sort of hints of gold in there that look like flames sort of wrapping around this intricate pattern. It's known as Cinderdraw. It was a gift from Muspelheim to an ancestor of my family on my father's side. It is crafted in the elven style and is well suited for your particular abilities. Presents it to you. It is incredibly well balanced.
It's beautiful.
Hopefully no longer on fire.
It is still sheathed.
Good.
As you draw it, it does burst into flames. The blade, not the scabbard.
The Lord of Light has
You have to
blessed.
buy a new scabbard
Maybe what
every
happened if
time
we got it
you
from
draw
the dodgy magic shop.
He just blows up.
But it bursts into this sort of beautiful golden flame that just wraps around the entire length of the blade. And you see that it sort of burns with runes that now appear in the elven script that spell the name of Cinderdraw. And whilst the fire is there and there is some heat coming off it, it's not painful in any way.
This is a magnificent weapon.
It is yours.
Seems too great a gift.
What gift can you repay for one who has saved your life? And the ability to save others.
Well, I shall carry it with honour and always remember from where I came by it.
So it is a +1 elven flame tongue longsword. So essentially it is a +1 flame tongue longsword with the finesse property.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
No more tickling for you.
Well,
Tickling with flame is a different
except
thing.
none of us.
Yeah.
And now the more unpleasant business. The first inclination from the autopsy is that my uncle died of some sort of catastrophic blood disorder, but it's not something that we've ever seen here before. But I'm not certain whether the High Priest is lying to me, so I've asked if there could be a second observation. Would you mind, Cedric, having a look? At least to determine whether this was natural causes or something more sinister.
I'm happy to, yes.
Very well. Please follow me.
I will follow.
Leads you down. Is anyone else following?
Sure.
If we're permitted.
Yeah, can do. You head down. He leads you in sort of a chamber deep below the castle, where you can feel the temperature slowly dropping. As you step in, there is a covered body on a table within this sort of dimly lit room with sort of blue crystals just set around it that keeps it chilled. And there is just the body there, with the head fully covered. Seems to be there's a sheet that is covering the torso, and then there is a separate wrapping of the head to keep it covered out of respect. Make a medicine check for me, please, Cedric.
Sure thing.
I would say with advantage,
Okay.
because the body has already been opened with a Y incision and
Nice.
various other bits and pieces are available to you.
I will.
Is the body being uncovered?
Yes.
I will
I'll put
guidance
my-
myself.
yeah.
Oh, you're going to do it.
I'll put my hand on Cedric's shoulder and say, if I could offer you my guidance, I would, but I'm not. But if you can do it for yourself.
Oh, right, okay, yes.
that
Okay,
would
yeah.
be a
I was
good
like,
idea.
Kelatar will say, though,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
The only thing that Ash can
Oh,
do is
I have this.
all sorts.
Bane.
Cedric, all conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering and accents.
It's D8 now, isn't it?
I will mark
It is a
off-
D8
it's a
for
D8.
Yeah, it's a
Kalatar.
D8. Why
I
not?
will mark off. In fact, I'll do this now. That's more. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. No, it's all right. No, I'll do it anyway.
Or do you want to?
Maybe
you sure?
not. No.
Disguise self.
I have. I
Journalist
believe-
in it.
Turn into the king, was. Like Connor?
Wait, no. Turn into the king, but the
Who's
corpse.
this?
Very nearly went wrong.
I have.
All over the iPad.
2 spells I would like to cast.
Just 2 spells. Okay.
Which may or may not help me, but I'm going to cast them anyway.
Okay.
So that it's something. Firstly, I have Detect Poison and Disease.
Okay.
Secondly, I have Protection from Evil and Good.
Okay, let me just look up the
I need to
specifics.
check my spells from memory in the Shadowfell, so...
They are concentration spells.
Oh, they are, you are
Detect
right.
poison. So you can have one up at a time as you're
Do we
doing the
have the
thing.
components for the second of those?
Oh, is
Because
there a thing?
I can offer you some.
Sorry, I'm doing a Jared, sorry guys.
That sounds terrible.
I can offer you some
That's
powdered
curable.
iron and silver.
I mean, could I have some powdered iron
Yes.
and silver? So, okay, so I want to cast Detect Poison and Disease first, see if I can detect any poison disease, and then whilst I'm inspecting the body, then cast Protection from Evil and Good.
Okay. So, as you set and you...
Real doctor right there.
I'll say make your medicine check with the
Oh, yeah.
advantage and everything else.
Yes.
I will say without the D4, because you are casting Detect
Fair.
Poison and Disease.
That's... Ooh, okay. That is an 18, but... yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to use the D10 for today. What did I say
it
it was?
better.
An 18. A 22.
22. Okay.
And you've got D8 inspiration as well.
I use that.
already
I use that as part
Use
of
it
it.
in the thing. Okay.
See your actual dice beside you.
Alright.
Try to keep it quiet.
So, using the magic that you have, you're sort of going through and having a look at it. You notice that, first of all, you notice that the body is pretty hairless. His pale skin seems like it has become almost scaled, as if something underneath the skin has divided it into sections with clear boundaries. Like the blood vessels have sort of become much darker, and it's all like a patchwork of things. As you're going through, you find that this definitely isn't natural. The blood has turned...
Sorry, that was a 26, by the way. My bad. Carry on.
The blood has turned black. You notice this now. And has congealed into a thicker liquid, almost like the iron in the blood has been drawn out of the cells. You know that this isn't natural, and it is particularly helped by the fact that you are detecting that this is a poison
Okay.
that has been done. And you actually know the type of the poison as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's think of that spell. It is a poison known as oxycyanide.
Sorry?
Oxycyanide.
Oxycyanide.
Yes.
Are you sure it wasn't Magneto pulling the iron out of him?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of going to do something I was going to jump in with. Cause
Oh,
as soon as
let me finish. As you're sort of looking around it, you detect the poison a bit, but you also follow the flow from where it was most concentrated. You sort of follow that up to his left armpit.
Yeah.
You have a look, and there's a tiny cut that has been made underneath his arm. You're not quite sure what that has come from. It looks almost like a pinprick.
Okay.
But this has got a very thick...
Here or here?
Under the armpit.
Okay.
Like in that area.
Yes.
Where armpit hair would be, but
Yeah.
there isn't for this guy. 'cause
Yes.
Elf. Canon.
They're all hairless.
Yeah, pretty much.
They look like those hairless cats.
Kind of, except on their heads.
Yeah.
They have full body alopecia.
So, yeah, you have that, and there is severe black discoloration around the wound.
Okay.
It looks like that this is the starting point where this poison seems to have activated. It's not a poison you're familiar with. You just know that's what it's called.
Cool.
Somehow. Because magic. It's like Artemis has whispered it in your ear.
Almost.
If only we had better.
You've got Cedric, we're fine.
So, it looks like this wasn't of natural causes. There was a poison injected potentially under the armpit. I will point to the wound under the armpit.
Let's have a look.
And the poison is oxycyanide.
Cyanide. I missed the end.
Which Cedric and George and Kafina, you both recognise the name of.
Do we? Cool.
Yep, you have heard that name before. It was the poison that killed Lord Flamekeeper.
Yes.
Who was he again?
He was the whole reason George ran away from Elendor.
Oh, the Black Blood stuff.
That guy,
Oh.
yes.
Yes, I was going to ask if this looks at all familiar to George. 'Cause
Yes.
I paid attention when you said blood.
Yeah, I saw you react when I said blood disorder. You went,
Yes. Does it look familiar to George?
oh yeah. The fact he just said that as well, just like, oh shit, yeah.
Does anyone know about that?
I have a little experience with that, or a little story anyway. The reasons that I left my home to go adventuring and Kifina with me is that we had become embroiled in a duel with another noble by the name of Lord Flamekeeper. Normally duels in Elendor are not fatal, there are healers on standby. In this case, I did strike him, and it was a good thrust if I do say so myself, but it would not normally have been fatal, except in this case. At the point of the puncture, the blood began coming out, began turning black. It is similar to what you have seen here. It seems to be something that is given to a person, and then when the skin is broken, the effects take place. The assassin could have set this up at some point in advance. I do not know how long this can be remain in the system before being triggered.
Can I find that out?
Make an intelligence check. It's specifically
Straight
a
roll.
knowing in
7.
Nope. It is not. It is not a poison that is native to fallacy.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But you can go and research it if you want to.
But one thing we can be sure of is that it wasn't natural.
Your answer says no. It was an assassination. So that means we need to find out who it is. And we need to ensure that no one else is affected by it.
You in particular. It's probably no accident that this happened as soon as you were out of the picture.
No.
Not many people come back from where we just were. They assumed you were dead.
I presume I didn't detect anything on him at the moment.
Make a perception check. Actually, no, detect everything within 30 feet.
Yeah.
You detect it on him and the rest of you.
Ooh.
Wait, good or evil?
And that's where we're going to pick it up next week.
Oh!
No.
No, you detected poison.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that was for the poison.
I can cure 5 of us.
I mean, if we just die and get
Dips.
resurrected.
I might be alright. I'm immune to a lot of stuff.
It depends whether we can cure it.
I need that damn belt. I knew I
It's
needed
not
that
the belt.
No, but that belt's protection against
What,
poison.
the Belt of Dwarven Kind?
Yeah.
That has been bought by someone else.
Bought by the guy I'm going to kill. Those 7 are dying real soon.
So yeah, that's where we're going to pick it up next week. It's going to be interesting. That was fun, guys.
Oh dear.
There's some stuff going on. There's some intertwining of backstories, which I'm enjoying. And some cool shit has turned up. So, we're going to pick that up. Thank you very much for joining us. And we shall see you next week. See where this goes. If you want to catch up on our previous adventures, you can check out our podcast, Eat Crit Survive, our Twitter, @EatCritSurvive, and on Facebook. There's a link there that you can download it and listen to us and see where this all started and why.
And why?
I mean, do we even know yet?
No.
I know.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for joining us. Survive until Friday. Good night, everyone. We out.
We are.